Oh, sorry. That should work. Again, we make a mistake at the beginning of the live, and I just cleaned up the audio. It should be working now. Sorry, guys. Again, my mistake, my bad. Um, yeah. So, anyways, what I was saying is we're going to talk today about January and the fact that we might not be signing anybody this January, which is pretty heartbreaking. There was an article in The Athletic that said that Andy Minton telling us that don't be surprised if we don't sign anybody unless we find market opportunities. And they also have to be players that are, a part of the long-term plans, which basically to me might sound like an excuse. Happy New Year, Nelson, man. I hope you get on because I kind of want to tell you that to your face. Say Happy New Year and thanks a lot for always being here. Marcus, Happy New Year to you too, man. Happy New Year to everybody who's here. But yeah, so the thing that's on my mind is that article in The Athletic saying that we might not sign anybody, that our higher up, our ownership believes that we have a good enough squad to finish in European spots, which kind of scares me because honestly, everything has to go right for that to happen with the present day squad we have. Be cool. Happy New Year, man. Big up, guys. Thank you guys for being here. Big up. I am Titanium. Thanks. Nice to see you guys again. And I am what Imran Salomon says it's January 1st. We should relax. I agree. It's definitely January 1st and we should relax. But dude, the stories coming out about signing people and or the people they're looking at, like there's more stories about Mateta than there are about midfielders. And that just makes me nervous. And then there are stories saying that we might not sign anybody at all. Not signing anybody at all is out of the question. Like it can't happen. It would really break my heart and also just show me that the ambitions of this ownership group is nowhere near what the fans' ambitions are. But then going and signing a player like Mateta and not taking care of our midfield is also very, very disappointing to me. I've got Cody here who's been waiting patiently. Cody, hopefully you're ready to talk. I'm going to unmute you here to see if you're somewhere safe to talk. If not, let me know so I can mute you again. But Cody, tell me what are your feelings about January? What's going on?
We have to sign some positions in January, 100%. And I understand their hesitancy. Here, let me finish parking and get on camera.
Yeah, you got cut off a little bit, but I want to know why you understand it. Dude, make sure if you're driving, make sure you're being safe, man. Are you driving?
No, I'm parked. I'm parked
okay.
right now.
Okay, good.
I can understand them being hesitant because this is the last year of the PSR rules. I don't think there's going to be any issue come July 1st. There's going to be, whether they have the liquidity and willingness to buy players come July 1st is a different issue. But in terms of the money they'd be allowed to spend without sanctions, there's going to be so much available there. The issue right now is there's obvious gaps that need to be filled before July 1st. I think specifically we don't have a defensive midfielder outside of Casemiro, and an injury to him, or even when we saw him get a red card and have unavailability that way, I think we have to sign a six. There's not maybe a whole lot of money to be spent just because this is the last 6 months of the old PSR rules. I mean, we might have maybe 200,000 gross to spend on players before July 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. And so if we spend 80 on Baleba, it doesn't leave a whole lot of room. I also think because of the fact that it's changing, I think it's really short-sighted of Ineos to say, oh, we're only taking players who fit our long-term project. We're not going to do any short.
Yeah. My first, let me just say, I am Titanium, man. Thank you so much for the $5 donation. You're a legend, dude. Thank you. You were here yesterday too. I know you're always watching my content. That's really, really nice of you, man, and I really, really appreciate it. Happy New Year, man. As for what Cody said, needing to sign somebody, I 100% agree. Some people in the chat are saying that Ruben Neves may be ideal for us right now. I'm hoping we aspire to more than that, but I'd say he's better than nothing. I think is the best way I can put that. I'm not going to be super excited for it, but I'm going to be a lot more upset if we don't sign anyone at all. Ruben Neves definitely would help. I'm not going to sit here and act like he wouldn't help. He would definitely help. I just hope we can get even better than that, if that makes sense. The kind of players I want us to go for is I want to see stories about us trying to get one of our top 3 targets. That would be, Baleba, Anderson, or Wharton. I'm not saying we can get them. That's not what I'm saying at all. I would just like to see stories to where we're trying. And then after we fail to get one of those, then we go for our secondary target. Someone who can maybe not be like a starter. See, some people are scared that like if we go for someone that's not one of those top 3, that's going to limit our funding and our expenditure for the summer. But as Cody was saying, the FFP rules change over the summer, and we have more than enough room to go for somebody else. And here's the deal. If we don't finish in the top 5 or 6, if we don't finish in a European spot, I'm hoping for Champions League. But if we don't finish in a European spot, we're going to have even less money to spend. Now, obviously, we're going to have some money to spend because we have money coming in this summer from like Rasmus Højlund's deal and things of that nature. Players that went out last summer that we didn't get paid for yet. So we are going to get paid some money for them next summer, this coming summer, and we'll have money to spend this summer. But right now, we have 65 million in cash and 85 million in revolving credit. I think that's what I read. It's either that or flip what I just said. 85 million in cash and 65 million in revolving credit. I might have that wrong. And that's where I feel like we need to dip into that this summer and get someone, if that makes sense. Guys, if you want to join in, the link is in the description. Come on the show, talk to me, let me know what you think. If you think I'm crazy, let me know. If you agree with me, let me know. So the phone lines are open, as they say. Come on in. Results have gone our way tonight. Yes, they have. Actually, I wanted to check to see what the changes in the table are, because I think there were a lot of draws today. So we are in 6th, only tied with Chelsea, 3 points behind Liverpool, and 9 points behind Aston Villa. We have a chance to catch up to Villa if we buy in January. If we don't, I don't think we catch them. I don't think we can win 3 more games than they do from here till we're at the midway point right now of the season. I don't think we win 3 more games than Villa without bringing in somebody. And I also think with Maresca leaving, Chelsea might get that new manager bounce coming up. So Chelsea might have a better run in the second half of the season than they had in the first half of the season. And you can't convince me otherwise. There's a very good chance that let me get full screen, that they get a better run for the second half of the season. So it's so important that when the board gets into their board meetings and they're discussing what could happen for the rest of this year, that they understand that without investment, I don't think we go anywhere. I don't think we finish in the top 6 spots or even 7 spots. I predicted on Footy's channel that'll be somewhere between 8th and 10th is what we're going to finish. 7th would be hard, but we might get 7th, but there's no way we're getting in the top 6 with the present day squad, in my opinion, unless I don't know, man, unless like 3 or 4 players start playing a lot better than they've played already this season. Like not just one player improving. We need about 3 or 4 players to improve for the whole rest of the season, because our midfield is always going to be slow and our midfield is always going to be late to things. And I think Xerxes leaving. I think Mainu's going to kick up a fuss and want to leave if he hasn't already. It's the way it is. It's just the way it is. Pielstrom says, so will we. Facts. I think he's talking about where I was saying we would finish. Nightwing, Happy New Year, man. Thank you so much for coming by. Happy New Year to you too. Okay, we seriously need to speak against the owners. The owners need to go. Our ceiling under them is top 4 and no higher. And that's when we are lucky. Please forward this. We need to start a campaign. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how much longer this Ineos project can go on before the people in Manchester, the fans of Manchester start picketing again and making it known in the stadium that they want new owners. I think that if we finish in a bad position this season, they'll probably sack Ruben and they'll use that as the cover as to what went wrong, which I believe it's not. I don't think it's his fault. I don't think that he has a lot to work with. especially looking at some of the kids he's playing. And you guys know these kids aren't ready. This isn't me saying something bad about the kids, but they're not ready. They're just being thrown into the deep end and being asked to swim when they've got no support around them. There's way too many young kids on the pitch at the same time during a rough patch in our like playing history, if you will. It's not even fair to the academy players, to be honest with you, to play them. That's why I never understood when players were saying, play the kids, when people were saying on social media. And I'm like, why would you want to make the kids suffer with this? Because the amount of hate Fletcher got on social media after the last game was disgusting, first of all. And I didn't even know about it until James pointed it out to me. What's up, Shant, man? Come on, dude. Turn your camera on. Come on so we could talk. Until what's the name? James pointed it out to me during the Three Devils podcast. I don't know if you guys saw that episode. And I did some research after the podcast, and I saw some things on social media that's really gross. To speak like that about an academy product, dude, I'm really rough on players. I have said some really, really nasty things about players, but not insulting things. Just I criticize their way of play. But some of these people were on social media talking about nepotism and just really bad things. And that's exactly what you're putting these kids through. Montato wasn't ready. He got some flack. They're getting booed. And I know it's not their fault, but they're booing the whole entire team. Be Cool says, I'm a Bruno hater. Anybody who knows. That's not what I am. I don't think Bruno... Let's talk about Bruno for a second. I don't think Bruno Fernandes should be the best player on the team. Is he the best player on the team? Yes. I think Bruno's better as a supporting role, like he is on a Portugal team. I don't think he's as effective when he is the only chance creator and someone who has to touch the ball in every play and is over-relied upon. Hence why, even when he's playing for Portugal, sometimes he ends up on the bench after 65, 70 minutes. On our squad, he never ends up on the bench. That's where I go with the Bruno thing, but people don't seem to get it, and they think that I want Bruno out, and I think Bruno's bad, which is not the case. That's not what I've ever said. I've always said he's our best player. I just think it's a shame that he's our best player. But to get back to the kids topic, I'm letting Nelson in here. To get back to the kids topic, I think it's just sad that we now have to throw kids in that are just not ready. Nelson, what's up, man? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man.
How you doing?
I'm good. Start of the year. I watched the Andy's stream, and I couldn't join. I was doing something else, but you were talking about the youth at some point, and then I don't know if you switched to Bruno yet. Or what?
I switched to Bruno because Be Cool had to come in and poke at me.
I agree with you about the Bruno shouldn't be our number one guy, but I do think we need so much, specifically with the players that we need to get in January. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to hear any conversation about we don't have money. We have enough money. You can go look at all of our filings, all of that stuff. Where Manchester United is a public company, you can go check. We have the money. The issue is, and I wanted Sean to join. So if Sean's going to join, because we're going to have a nice little conversation about what he said about Ineos and the Glazers vetoing rights. Because even though that is true, that Glazers do have a vetoing right, I think you would have heard something if Ineos wanted to buy a player and the Glazers said no. You would have definitely heard a story come out, and nothing's out yet.
I agree. Somewhere, someone would have leaked that.
100%.
Especially to protect Ineos. Somewhere, someone would have leaked that.
Which to me is the scarier thing, because if Ineos are basically like, once I heard Mateta conversations, I'm like, well, tell me this isn't a Glazer move. I don't see any difference between this and the Glazers. Like, you're losing a striker, so we're going to get a striker when we clearly need midfielders. That's my biggest issue. Heck, I could even make the argument you need another wing back over central midfielders, but I don't want to see another striker. We need people who help us in our builder play. Because the issue we have right now is we can't build up from the back. And that to me is we've used Bruno too much. And that's what I've said. Ruben Neves, Casemiro is a better defender. Ruben Neves is a much better passer. I would much rather have Ruben Neves in this team right now. 1,000,000%. The guy's insanely good.
I said that like I would take Ruben Neves. I just don't think that's a big enough ambition showing move, if you will. Like it doesn't show me enough ambition by the board if that's where we go. He scares me only because he's been playing in the Saudi League for a little while now, so I don't know how quickly he's going to acclimate to the pace of the Premier League again. That's my only fear when it comes to that. But I would take him, and I said it earlier, I would take him because it's better than nothing. Like if you told me Ruben Neves or no one, I would take Ruben Neves over other people. I should add that too, because there are a handful of midfielders that I don't want at all. Like I'd rather have
Conor Gallagher here.
Exactly.
I don't want to see him here.
He's exactly who I was thinking about when I said that.
Yeah. And even João Gomez, for all of you who think João Gomez is not as good as you think he is. Like, go look at his stats. Go look at what he does well. It's not what we need.
I take him, though. I take him. I won't lie.
You take him? No.
Yeah, I take him because he's got legs and he's got fight that we don't have. Like, he has fight, man.
My thing is we need clear, like, insane levels of quality. And Ruben Neves, at the very least, has passing ability that we don't have in this squad. João Gomez doesn't have that level of passing. Neither does Casemiro.
Do you think Ruben Neves' passing ability will enable Bruno to play a little bit farther forward?
Yes. And here's the thing. Ruben Neves is the only one who can come in and actually have Casemiro get benched. He's the only one. Because the other guys we want, Lamine Camara will not get it. Clearly. Because they're not even discussing him. He's the only stereotypical 6 that we would actually easily get. And we have Portuguese guys who are be cool here who can actually talk about him. But Ruben Neves was amazing at Wolves. I actually wanted him when he was going to Saudi.
I won't lie. Before he went to Saudi, I wanted him too. Marcus is trying to come in again. Let's see if he figured out his camera and microphone situation. There it is.
There we go.
Did it work? What's with the tongue wagging?
Wait, what's the tongue action here?
No, it's all right, Marcus. Please, it's not that kind of.
Oh, you're talking to me. Did it work?
Yeah. No.
Actually, no. To be honest with you, I take these medications and they make my mouth dry. So you see me do that every now and then. So anyway, hello everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us. We're talking about Ruben Neves coming in.
Say hi to Stevie.
That's Stevie.
Beautiful.
Stevie, yeah. Sister called Nikki, so Stevie Nicks.
Oh, nice. So
wait, like
I know you
the
were
Liverpool guy, Stevie Nicol.
No, Stevie Nicks, the singer
Stevie Nicks
for
is a
Fleetwood
band.
Mac.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you meant Stevie Nicol for a second. I'm like, wait a second.
Nelson, I thought we were friends.
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, I was about to review our whole friendship.
Marcus, you were at James's live earlier. I caught just a little bit of it, but did it seem to you like he was talking about Mateta is the word right now?
No, it sounded like I think he was just something that Mateta was just something that we're interested in, but I don't think for right now. It would be like a secondary striker. He was kind of saying, but I don't think there was any actual movement on it or any, I don't think there was anything that was definite.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm really hoping that Mateta is like our, not even plan B, how do I say this? Like the side dish to the main course that we're going after.
Well, we used to have four strikers, remember? And even 3 up until Louis Van Gaal got rid of half of them. But we haven't, I don't know why we're constantly thinking we can get by with 1 striker. We need 2. I mean, there are times when you could even play 2 strikers, to be honest. But we do. We need someone to help Sesko in. And you know,
Yeah, but
we
do you
need
think
goals from-
right now in January, if you're only getting one signing, it should be a striker?
No,
Because
no. But it should be a midfielder. We need a 6, period.
Yeah.
We need a 6, as far as I'm concerned. Like, since we had Carrick, Matic, and Casemiro have been the only actual 6s that we've had since Sir Alex left. Those are the only real out-and-out 6s. And I'm sorry, but the last 2 we bought have been past their prime. And Matic and
there's some news coming through that Sean just shared. I'm trying to find it online, but I guess Xavi Hernandez has turned down the Chelsea job now that Maresco's gone. And I am a big fan of Xavi's. A big fan. Like, I like the 3 managers I like the most are Luis Enrique, Farioli, and Xavi Hernandez. I just like the way they play. I feel like they have something new to offer, like innovative, if you will. And all 3 of them play a high intense brand of football that I like a lot, which is exactly what Ruben does too. Like, I don't mean to say I like them more than Ruben. What I mean to say is I class them all in high intensity, ultra go for it type of football. Obviously, we just don't have the players to do any of that.
we don't have the players to do anything. Like, come on, we all know we've got a Frankenstein crew that some players have been here for 11 years. We don't have those players that have been here for a while are now getting long in the tooth. We don't have the players to play any style, as far as I'm concerned, unless you want to bring in Sam Allardyce and, we'll make sure we escape relegation.
So where does this go then in your eyes? Both of you, I want both of you to answer. Where do we finish if we don't sign anybody?
8th.
Well, we're in 6th now.
Yeah.
6th. I don't
No.
think we'll get worse. I
I
really
think
don't.
we are.
I think
I
we
think
get
if-
I think we get worse.
I think the problem is, this was my fear, which is this season's actually a very weak season in terms of the Prem.
Yeah,
And
fair.
my concern is the moment clubs realize they can start making changes and they start, like, let's be honest, Maresca was underperforming at Chelsea. If they get a decent coach, that means top 3's gone. And now you're discussing 4th, 5th, and 6th, which is Liverpool.
Yeah, you can't even discuss those. Like, I was going to
Yeah.
say, what are you talking about? You can't even.
No, I'm just
top
saying,
5
like-
is gone. If Chelsea get good, top 5 is gone. Period.
Top 5 is gone, in my opinion, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Top 5
because
is
that
gone.
was a team I kept looking at going, I don't rate that coach. I think we can slightly sneak in. But they get a
Right.
better coach, it's over.
Right. Yeah. So if Maresca's replacement, Marcus, sometimes I'll mute you just because it comes through like your fan or whatever I'm hearing there. It comes through, so I'm muting you a little bit. But don't worry about it. Like, don't worry about. I'll just unmute you when you're gonna say something. But top 5 is gone if Chelsea have a good coach, just like Nelson said. Period. If they bring in a coach who knows how to work with these players, top 5 is gone because we're not catching. Without us bringing in a January signing is the
Exactly.
caveat. If you just tuned in to the show, understand what me and Nelson are saying. And why I think we'll get worse, because Marcus said we're 6, we'll probably finish 6. Why I think we'll get worse is because in these last 2 weeks, we are starting to see how little we have in the roster if we ever need someone to come in. And I don't know if we're going to be without injuries for the rest of the season. I don't know if Mason Mount isn't going to have, a month where he plays and a month where he doesn't play. And I hate to say it, even though the guy is Superman and he's never been injured, our coach and our medical staff are the extra careful type. So if Bruno has a niggling feeling next month, they might sit him out for 2 games again. Because these guys don't mess around. This medical staff and this manager, they don't mess around. If you're not ready, they're going to put you on the bench. Even if the player, Ruben said himself, the player's ready to play, he's not allowing him to play. And that's his best player. Bruno is our best player. So if Bruno has a niggling feeling in his hamstring next month, oh, sorry, let me unmute you. Go ahead, Marcus.
He
Go
said
ahead.
Bruno wants to play. You know, I mean, Bruno wants to play every game. Bruno would have wanted to finish that game. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
My point is though, he must be able to run a little if he wants to play. Like I'm sure he doesn't want to play and like limp around. But he might not, you know, he might sit down a couple of more games next month or whatever it is. So what we're seeing is, and especially like when you see Cunha maybe not playing at his best, and we don't even have the option to put him on the bench and bring someone else in. And now that Xerxes might be leaving, and if Xerxes doesn't leave, the Xerxes you're getting now is what I think you're going to get for the rest of the season. This Xerxes who doesn't want to be there. I think it's obvious to everybody that Xerxes just doesn't really want to be there. So I don't think we finish 6th. I think we only get, definitely we don't get better if we don't sign anybody. No. That would make no sense for us to get better without us signing anybody. But I think that there's a high chance we get worse, and that's where that's where I think we go, is a little bit worse.
If we drew with Wolves, which are, I know people have been trying to adjust the Wolves are a much better team than they are. Just look at the results and we can go from there. And secondly, if we're going to play Leeds, and the lucky thing is Leeds played really hard today. So I'm hoping that, but they won't have enough recovery time, and our players will have the recovery time to kind of play a little bit more aggressive. But let's be honest, I'm looking at the next games going, if we don't get Mount or Bruno in, I can see a Leeds loss, I can see a Burnley loss or a draw, and every single point I don't think we can claw up anymore. Like even with our full squad, I don't think we're good enough to like be clawing up and being consistent enough to push for 6th if we lose 6th. That's my concern. I think if we drop to 7th is where we're going to finish. I think if we drop to 8th, that's where we're going to finish. I'm being serious. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting this season.
Yeah, completely agree with you. I'm going to let Ryan in. Let's see what Ryan has to say. Hey, Ryan, how are you, man?
Got a camera.
Hello. Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me? I've not been on this one before.
Yeah, we can hear you. If there is a way to turn your mic up a little bit, go for it.
I will try it. I'm not sure. I don't know if it was any better or not, but
yeah, it's perfect. Go for it.
I'm not sure where you were up to compared to YouTube, but I just thought I'd come in and add some optimism, as I always do. I agree with Marcus on 6th. Personally, I see what both of you are saying in terms of injuries. I mean, Mount, Bruno being out has absolutely crippled us, and I completely get what you're saying with if we don't get anyone, it being hard to see us get better. But my counter to that is that I think we have probably been one of the most unlucky teams this season, both in terms of refereeing decisions and in terms of just rub of the green in the way that matches have gone. If we'd have had some of the draws that have been outrageous go the other way, we could be 6 to 9 points better off, and we'd all be cracking on about a title charge. And the PGMOL have admitted up to 10 points worth of refereeing mistakes, which is, again, if we had 10 more points, we'd be absolutely over the moon. And I can only hope, it doesn't always work this way, but usually things balance out. So my hope is second half of the season, maybe they balance out. Pretty please.
Ryan, I know you watch a lot of matches too. And let's be honest, officiating has been poor, not just for us, for a lot of teams. So there are a lot of people out there who've also been wronged. And I'm with you. I do think luck of the green just a little bit, and we would have been probably 4th at some points and then drop back and forth. But the concern you have is we have, 2 or 3 more weeks without our players, without Mbeumo and Ahmad and Mazraoui, to be fair.
Yeah.
He's at Morocco, so he's going to go all the way.
Yeah, we could really do with one of them losing somehow.
Yeah, but clearly, I was watching the Cameroon game, and they seem to be getting better and better. So
I've got to admit, I'm not watching AFCON. It's just not one I'm interested in, so I'll have to defer to you on that.
No. They're getting better every game, so it's not looking good. So with my only concern is, my issue is once we start losing momentum, which is clearly what we're doing right now, do you think we'll be able to claw back the points we've lost? Because we're playing easy teams now. Let's be honest. if we drop points on Leeds and Burnley, by the time these guys are coming back, we're going to be playing Man City, Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we'll have a good... These guys will have to also rest when they come back. Like, they're not just going to be thrown in immediately. So this is, to me, I'm just seeing more negativity unless we bring in players to, like, kind of help with the burden right now.
I mean, I have to say, obviously, I hope we bring in players. I do think it's looking unlikely. The talk of not wanting short-term players and also the fact that you just very rarely get big names in January does not fill me with joy. But yeah, I will say one thing that sounds like the most stupid thing to say in the world, but if you actually look at where our points are coming from this season, not getting them in these easy games isn't worrying as much as it might, because for some reason we seem to be getting more points against the teams that we shouldn't be. So I could see us losing to Leeds and Burnley, beating City randomly. I could see us grabbing points off the Chelseas and the Liverpools, because we just seem to be so much more up for it.
I know, I see where you're coming from. Like, I get it. Like, there is actual fact and logic behind what you're saying. But I'd be lying if I didn't say I'm scared out of my mind. Like, I can't, like, I'm not, I'm not that. I want to be optimistic, but I feel like you're a lot more optimistic than I am. Is the only way I can say that.
To be clear, when we played City, was Ryan Cherki playing? I don't think he was.
No.
So that means the best player, unless he gets injured,
their best creator,
we might face the best player, and I just don't want to see us. Cherki killed us at Lyon.
Just to clarify, I'm not actually predicting a win against City. I'm just saying that with the way we've been playing, I could see it happening against the run of play for whatever reason, but I'm not actually predicting that.
I just hope me and Nelson aren't the one like making you go, oh, maybe I shouldn't be optimistic. You know what I mean? Like, I'd much rather have your headspace than mine. So don't. Oh
no, as I say, it's more of what I meant with the City prediction thing was the way that our season's been going. We could pick up those points. I think we'll pick up some points against one of City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, etc. I don't necessarily know which one, and I don't even think if we do, I don't think we'll necessarily deserve to. We just might. I mean, I will say a lot of it hinges on when we get Bruno back as well.
You do have a point, because I think it's Newcastle was the only team below us that we've got 3 points from. I think we've beaten the teams above us.
Yeah.
But the teams below us were actually really struggling. Newcastle was the only one.
Ryan, where are you calling from? Where are you from?
I'm from Stockport.
Is that where you are right now?
Yeah.
Perfect. So tell us about the mood on the grounds then, because the last game with the booze and everything else, like what's the mood like right now?
So I've got to admit, I'm not the most outgoing person, and I'm not a match-going fan, so I can't speak too much for it.
Okay.
I think it's very mixed. It depends who you ask. So I have what's he classed as? Great uncle, I think, who's a big United fan. He's very, very negative. He hates Ruben Amorim. He hates the 3-4-3. He hates every player at the club, and he thinks we're all crap. And he's a match-going fan. Then I have other friends who want us to stick with Amorim, that go to the games, that think that we play better than we deserve, than the results that we're getting, etc. So I think it does depend on the individual. Especially, as I will say, the media in the UK. I think you see it anyway, but it is very anti-United.
But it's like that no matter who the manager is, right?
Yeah,
like
true.
But I think older people in particular, the ones that you won't see online, buy into that a lot more than the younger fans do, because it's the news that they digest. They read the newspapers, they see the back pages, they won't watch YouTube channels like yours or Andy's or anything positive like that. It's all negativity. Like, imagine if all you could see to do with United was the stuff that you see in the news, and that was it, where your headspace would be at compared to where it is.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah. Talk sport.
I was going to say that.
yeah. If Simon Jordan's what you're listening to every day on your way to work.
Yeah, I lived in England 98, 99, and there was a lot, like all the papers over there are tabloids, Ryan, I think. There's like, they literally remind me of, they just want to find sensationalism in everything, you know? So I think United are getting very unfairly treated by the media. I just think it's very narrow-minded and uneducated, half of them. So that's why I like YouTube for my stuff. I used to read the BBC. I'd go on every morning and there was a little gossip column there. And you'd read all the gossips and stuff like that. And I believed most of it, you know, and thank God for YouTube. So I used to say thank God for Mark Goldbridge, but now I'm saying thank God for Samix and Andy and James.
I don't want to upset anyone, but I am the biggest Mark Goldbridge hater on the planet.
I heard most people from your neck of the woods are.
Well, yeah, I mean, without going into a whole top red thing, the fact that he has ties to Nottingham Forest and he's a very southern acting person, which it might not make as much sense not being from the UK, but the north-south divide is pretty big and there is a lot of tribalism within football. So yeah, but that's not why I dislike him. If I don't care where you're from, if you're an actual, no, that's the wrong way to put it. I don't want to say he's not an actual United fan, but if you're a fan that supports your club. So I always say this, I'm probably not said it on Andy's stream or anything, but I think United have a problem where we have supporters and we have spectators.
Yeah.
And I think we have a big portion of the fan base that are spectators where they watch us, but they watch us for the wrong reasons. And I think Mark Goldbridge leans that way, especially with how his channel thrives on negativity. He basically took the AFTV market for United, in my opinion.
Yeah, and
but anyway, I don't want to turn this into a Goldbridge hate brigade. But
Vinny, we let Vinny into the show. Vinny, if you're there, I can't see you obviously because your camera's off. If you're there and you want to say something about January, go for it.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it's been some awesome discussions you guys are having, but I just want to throw this one out as well, guys. I think we need to be a bit modest, and this is to Nelson, because I kind of sense from you that you wouldn't actually accept a 6th, a 7th, or an 8th position. Of course,
No.
this is United, right? The standards does not need to drop. But let's take a critical look at our squad. Look at how our squad is built up. Who are we missing? We are missing Bruno. We are missing Mount. You see how crap we were against Wolves, right? So we lack quality. The squad lack quality, right? Let's compare it to the other squad that we're actually competing with. Even with Liverpool, who has managed to assemble all the best talents around the world, look at how they are struggling, right? I mean, I don't want to compare ourselves to Liverpool, but then look at our squad. Look at Diego Dalot. Is he going to start at Liverpool? Is he going to start at Chelsea? I mean, we've had this debate or discussion countless of times, but I feel that when we are talking about our position on the league log, we tend to forget about the quality that we have.
Vinny,
Guys,
can I ask you
our
a question,
quality-
bud?
Yeah, go for it. go for
Okay,
it.
so like if someone finishes not first, if someone finishes 3rd or 4th in like a foot race, okay, just a race,
Mhm.
and they gave it everything they had, and this person's a friend of yours, so it's someone you care about, and they gave it everything they had, they tried their hardest, and the best they did was 3rd place or 4th place, would you be proud of that person?
Yeah, I will. I will.
Okay, here's my problem. My owners are not giving it everything they have. Do you understand what I'm saying? My owners are not giving it everything they have. This is bullshit. They are not trying as much as they could. Now, some
I
people will
totally
say,
agree
like,
with
what are
you,
you talking
Simix.
about? They brought 4 players in, they spent money. They did what every summer we've done. They just did it better. They didn't
Yeah.
do more than what we've done
Yeah.
every summer. We did the exact same thing every summer with the Glazers. We just bought worse players.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying they didn't buy better. I'm telling you right now, Ineos
Mhm.
recruits better than the Glazers. There you go. So nobody in the comments trying to say that Samik said Ineos and the Glazers are the same. That's not what I said.
Yeah.
But what I said is their budget is the same.
Yeah.
So nothing's changed look, when you're an owner of something, money talks. That's how you when you're a player, how hard you run, that's what shows me how hard you're trying, right? You can fail or you can succeed, but the point is, how hard did you try? Did you run? Did you put the energy behind it? How was your work rate? When you're the owner, the only thing that talks is your money, your investment.
Semix, I think we also need to realize this. This right. I was listening to one podcast on YouTube, and the Semenyo deal, we've been simply priced out. We don't have money.
No, that's false. We have the money. We
don't.
Vinny,
We don't.
have more.
We
Vinny,
don't.
we have more than we can spend. Like, I think it's upwards of 180 million pounds.
So why
Something like
wouldn't
that?
we break our wage structure for Semenyo then?
That's an Ineos discussion. The Ineos are the ones who decided that we're not going to go over the structure. Whether we agree on that or not, it's not a.
And also,
it's an internal decision, not a financial decision.
Our wage structure has nothing to do with how much money we have.
Yeah.
Right. Like if Ineos decides we're not going to go for Semenyo because we don't want to break our wage structure, that's fair. I'm not saying they should have gone for Semenyo. What I'm saying is there's money there that they were going to spend on Semenyo. And there's more than that, by the way. It's not just 65. If they want to spend 100 million right now, they can.
They can if they wanted to. They just don't.
And it wouldn't be breaking any rules. It wouldn't be breaking any law. The only thing it would be breaking is their profit margins.
Yeah, that is the big problem. And I mean, I'll add to your point here, Samix, which is something. Is it Samix or is it Semi?
No, you're saying it way better than Andy. Don't copy Andy.
No worries.
You're saying it correctly. Andy, God bless him, he's trying. I'm not gonna. I don't hold it against him. He's trying.
So to add to your point, one player or one signing that I think really, actually, ironically, we did sign him, but it shows the Ineos mentality is Lomans. We did not want to sign him. We signed him at the last second because Bayindir and Onana were absolutely awful. We did everything we could to not buy a goalkeeper. We could have signed Martinez and we chose not to because it was 40 million or something, which for Ineos is not a huge amount of money. We ended up going cheap and we fluked out, in honesty. I mean, I was a big
Ryan, thank you,
Lomans
man.
supporter.
That's 100% you're right, because we had Donnarumma there for the taking and we were like, nah, too expensive. We went with the young guy, and like you said, we could have brought Lemens in so much earlier than we did. It's not like there was a negotiation problem or that there was another team in for him. There was nothing stopping us from going to Royal Antwerp and saying, hey, we're taking your goalkeeper a month earlier so that Bayindir didn't have to start. I forgot how many games it was. Right?
3.
So to Ryan's point, I mean, Ryan, please keep going,
I think
man.
it was 3.
Yeah.
And I think he
keep
lost
going.
us 2 of them.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
which again, I mean, to be honest as well, I think Lomans saved us that last game getting a draw. I think we'd have lost if we had Bayindir or Onana in net.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't remember what my other point was. If I ever remember it, then I'll let you know. But yeah, it was
I
the
think
Lomans one was one.
you were
profits.
talking about the ownership issue, right? Guys, yeah, well, I brought this up, right? I totally understand and I totally agree with everybody regarding the ownership issue. That means we need to actually shift our narrative to the owners instead of actually, all this noise about Ruben Amorim, the formation, this and that. I think that is the conversation we need to have.
Vinny,
100%. That's
here's
what
the
I
problem.
try to do. That's what I'm trying to do, is get it away from the manager and put it, because I don't care what manager you bring in right now, he's going to have these problems.
It's gonna fail. It's gonna fail.
Yeah.
Vinny, here's the only thing that I fear is it's going to be a lot easier to sack Amram than spend 300 million.
Yes.
It's going to be so much easier.
Yeah,
And
the
I-
Glazers have proven that. They've done
Yeah.
it time and time again.
And it's one of the things I wanted to talk to Shantz about. Your Armenian friends ducking me. It's about the.
Sean's he's in the chat, dude. He's in the chat. I don't know why he's not
me.
turning on the mic and today. I don't know.
But
He's
but
listening to us right now. Maybe it's a bad hair day. Is it a bad hair day?
We saw him earlier. He looked great, but you
he
know
looked
what?
good to me, I know,
Yeah.
but you know, his standards are like higher than mine. You know?
Yeah. I just washed my face. But with specifically with the issue I have with how Ineos is Ineos control the football operations, and Shant is right that the Glazers have vetoing power over the discussions that they would have. But the way I see this is the reason we're not hearing anything about Ineos and Glazers having like fights at the board level is clear that they're both in line. They both agree with the concepts of what they want to do. So the fact that we're not buying players is an agreement between Ineos and the Glazers. Because I have a feeling my whole thought process is we need Champions League, because apparently this is going to be the first time in 10 years that we don't have a training kit sponsor. I didn't even know we had that.
Yeah. No,
And
we
that's
had
because of the
Tezos
Champions
or
League.
whatever.
I
Or like
think
the
it
lo-
started with DHL, and we
Yeah.
came to Tezos, and
Yeah.
then after Tezos, we don't have in.
Yeah, we wouldn't have one because we're not in the Champions
Yeah.
League. Like these are the factors that I like. If we were so far away from top four, I can understand we don't need to buy someone because there's no way we can catch up. But we're so close.
Yeah.
And for Amarim's sake, at the very least, give him the players. He tries to go for it, fails because of multiple factors, injuries, whatever. At least you say we tried. But we're not trying at all. We're basically letting this guy fail. And that's my biggest.
If we don't sign anybody, let's
If
we
we
don't
don't
know
sign
yet.
anybody.
We don't know yet,
Yeah.
right? Like we don't know yet. But I am scared. Like I am not seeing enough stories, enough
Yeah.
links.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
even if people say like, "Oh, Ineos is being tight-lipped," Ineos is being, you know, like keeping it hush hush. Just because you're not hearing anything doesn't mean we're not trying to sign someone. When has that, like, we've been saying Ineos is being tight-lipped for the last 2 years, and we've heard about every signing we signed
We
last
knew
summer.
about Semenyo, we knew about Cunha, we knew about Mbumo, we knew about Sheshko. We knew,
We
who
knew about
was-
Lomans, who's in
Lomans
a
too, yeah. We
knew
small
about Lomans,
league, small
exactly.
market. He should be
Yeah.
silent
Oh,
if we want him to
oh.
be silent.
Oh
Did
no,
we ever reach out for
Nelson.
Donnarumma?
Nelson, your wish
he in?
is
Here he is.
There we
your
go.
wish is hit
Oh, no.
Sean's command.
Quickly
He's
before
here.
Sean takes over, I'll just add one thing as well that's bothering me with Ineos at the minute. I think in one position in particular, there are so many options at the moment that you almost cannot make a bad choice, which is midfield. We are at the point where we're talking about Ruben Neves, and I know you two don't like him, but Conor Gallagher, who is at worst an average Premier League midfielder, as bad options compared to some of the other guys that are around. There are so many hits out there
100%.
that you just have to go for one of them. Like
Yeah.
you almost can't miss.
Like,
I swear, like we agree on everything, Ryan. Now I know why you.
Apart from Bruno.
I think if you really understood where I'm trying to go with Bruno, you'd agree. I think people. I think I'm
Ryan
doing a bad
Ryan
job.
and I have spoken a lot more. He disagrees with you more than you think, Inyo. On a lot of
to be
things.
fair.
Listen.
Hold on,
I agree with
okay,
Sean.
Hold on.
No,
One
Ryan
question.
and I,
One question.
Ryan
Hold
and
on,
I
hold
agree
on,
on
hold
a
on.
lot more.
Hold on.
actually.
One question to both of you. Do you think we can win a Premier League title if Bruno is our best player in the squad?
1,000%. You get better players around him, and you see the best Bruno.
Wait. That's not the.
No, that's not what
you
he
just
said.
changed. You just changed the answer. Like that's not what I asked.
No, Bruno gets better with better players.
So
Yeah,
oh,
don't.
How do I ask? How do
That's
I-
the truth.
No,
he
no,
does.
because I don't think you get what I'm asking. Bruno gets better with better players because better players have better movement. Correct?
And better players finish the chances that he puts on a plate for them.
Correct, which means they're probably
And then
better
he gets
than
into.
him.
He's already
too,
has the best create.
is what I'm
Sorry.
trying to say. Like, did Bruno have more assists when CR7 played? Yes or no?
He did.
Yeah.
Probably,
created a
right?
cra-
With
a crap
Cavani,
load of-
Was his
CR7.
first season not the
Yeah.
highest or
The way I'm
his
trying to
output
frame,
actually dropped. His Bruno's output dropped when Ronaldo's on the team. Yeah.
yes,
which, to be
like
fair,
his
made
goal
sense.
scoring output dropped, but his
Yeah.
assist rate I think went up, right? Like, and
I don't think so. I think his overall output went down.
oh,
I'm
that's
sure his
weird.
best season was his first
Yeah,
one.
I can go check. Yeah, it's his
That would
best
be,
season.
that would be
is his
something
first
interesting
season.
to look into.
That's true,
Well,
Ron.
My theory
This
is
is his
that like
second best season, apparently.
if
I
Bruno was
would
the-
argue that Cristiano was not the the best striker.
Maybe not.
in
Not
person,
not when
you
we
know?
got him.
Yeah.
Dude, bro,
Yeah.
is
I will
somebody
say-
need to be muted?
Someone-
Someone sounds like they're in the
Taking a
restroom.
piss?
Yeah, Vinny.
I don't know who it is.
I think
I'm
it's
gonna be
Marcus.
myself.
Why is it always me?
It's you, bro.
Poor guy,
Marcus,
poor
it's
guy.
you, man.
Poor guy.
But yeah, to answer your question, Samix, I think we could win a title if we had 3 players of Bruno or just under quality. If we
I'm gonna
had
go.
a
See you, man.
striker, see
Take
you,
care,
mate.
Marcus.
If we had a striker who was as good as Bruno but as a striker, and especially if we had a centre back who was as good
Who's
as
that,
Bruno
though?
but as a centre back, yeah,
Who's-
exactly. Well,
who's-
that's the problem.
Yeah.
I think it's a hard question to answer because I genuinely think Bruno is one of the best players in the world.
Let
I
me
agree.
let me
Ryan,
then
Ryan,
let
can
me,
I proffer some names? And I think the whole panel. Sorry if I'm being domineering. This is your stream.
That's
so
No, no,
you
go
do,
for
you
it.
Do,
Go
you
for
do
it.
what you
Please
want.
do. I'm tired. I need a break.
I know you do. I know. That's why I want to take over. So I think you put a player the likes of Lautaro Martinez on the end of that. You put a player of Osimhen's quality. You
Oh,
put
yeah.
a player of, these are players that are in or around Bruno's level that I know would eat up those chances like supper. Like that's
Osimhen in particular, because he's also the perfect type of player for Bruno. Bruno wants
Mhm.
someone with pace to run in behind. I think that's
exactly.
why when Rashford was playing well, Bruno was serving him up chances like crazy. Because he likes to look up, pick the pass, and play it in behind.
Yep.
Who else?
For sure.
Who
else?
partners him in midfield?
In
'Cause
midfield.
I think,
okay.
I
Somebody.
think
So I
Osimhen
would say
bangs
if you put
without Bruno either, by the way.
if you
Does
put
Bruno
Osimhen
work in
is
a
so good.
two-man midfield? That's number one.
No,
yeah
he doesn't.
with someone with more like you put Bruno and Caicedo, Bruno and Rice, Bruno and Tonali, Bruno and
Caicedo works.
somebody. Yeah, Caicedo
works.
does work.
Yeah.
Caicedo works.
I would
Which is
even
why we
if you want to
hold
look
on
Caicedo's
if you want
better than
also
Bruno, though.
if you want to look forward if you want to do forward looking, yeah, don't even try that. If you want to do forward looking, someone of the Lamine Kamara like legs for days industry, someone that's what bothers me about the Ineos project. They just said, all right, we're just going to sit on our hands, act as if Bruno's good enough to do this. When it's like, no, you got to put the profiles next to Bruno in order to carry on. Casemiro should be in the squad, not at 350, but he should be in
Yeah.
the squad, but
Yeah.
not with that permutation of having Bruno on the left, because Bruno just gives weight. The way that the team is set up and how they want to get the most out of Bruno is getting him into that final block, that 14 through 18 area. But you're not going to get that if you're also demanding him to go back and to the space that he did vacate to get there. So even if you want to put Bruno in that 10, one of the two 10 roles, I could say he could be a good right 10 if you have the right midfield pairing. But
Mhm.
we're not. We're fitting him in at the 8, and that's what's basically hampering us right now.
I think
I
he
think
doesn't
that's a
work in a
big
two-man
play. Oh, sorry,
midfield,
go on.
though. Yeah, I don't think he works in a two-man midfield. I think right now you're seeing the best version of Bruno in a two-man midfield. Just because you said Lamine Kamara. Lamine Kamara can't head the ball. I watch a lot of Monaco. He's too short. He's actually standing with giants right beside him. He has damn it. They play with when Pogba decides to show up, they have Pogba, but they have the bloody giant right back. They have a massive right back. He's like 6'1". And but basically he's surrounded by giants. Casemiro is one of our best headers of the aerial winning. He's one of the best in the league. If you remove Casemiro and bring in Lamine Kamara, all of a sudden we're just going to start seeing long balls going over them. So my thing I think Bruno, his perfect position is the 10.
Yeah.
And that's just because we've seen him play. Clearly, he's so much better as the 10.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to play a three-man midfield, him as one of the attacking midfielders would work too.
Agree.
So
I have sort of.
I think
Sorry.
I disagree. I disagree because I think as a 10 he lacks pace, right? And those two things actually demand space, and that's the reason why we went in for Mbumo and also
Vinny, I think if we brought
Current.
Osimhen, you wouldn't need as much pace as you think, because Osimhen's ability to stretch defenders, I'm not kidding, is one of the best I've ever seen. And I think because people didn't watch him at Napoli, he literally dominated a league with giant defenders who are extremely
Osimhen.
physical, and he
And
dominates.
if you're in a, also Vinny to just kind of give a rebuttal, you're not asking Bruno to be the guy that box crashes and is the
Yeah.
one. You're asking Bruno to excel in that free roam where he has the highest chance of getting that final ball or can maximize his shot. Bruno's shot is amazing. We're talking like the highest tier in the world.
Even
So
Momon said that.
yeah, like we need to like stop. This is what I get so frustrated with these shishtamers. They think that if a player is good, it's only because he fits the profile the best. Whereas it's like even Amron has shown a propensity to say, you know what, I need to instill these certain ideologies and philosophies of how I want the game to be played. Fine. And then from there, once we establish a good ground rules for how we want to have our basic tactic, then we can start playing with four at the back, different permutations that will maybe allow our players to get more. So that's what I'm saying is like, if you're having Bruno's best position in terms of heat map, in terms of just in general where he operates the best, it's in that little hole. Semix, you got to tell me what the fucking zone is. Sorry, beat me. What is that perfect zone right
Where?
before 16 through 18? Just like 14,
11
15.
is right in the middle. Oh yeah,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
talking
right in
about
the
the
middle.
sides.
That area is his bread and butter. So for us to then say, well, he's not a good player because he doesn't have enough legs or he doesn't do this, it doesn't matter. When you have a player of that quality, I don't care whatever level you are on, under 11, under 18, under 21, semi-pro, Premier League. When a player changes a game like that, you center your team around that. And that's why I don't ascribe to the whole if Bruno can't be the best player. I think Bruno's the best player by default because he has to be. That's all we've got. We don't have there's nobody in the squad as good.
That's
it.
what I'm
To
trying to
be-
get at is that like
Yeah.
I don't want him to
Yeah.
be the best player, but that's on the owners. That's on the recruitment
I'm with
team.
you.
That's on the owners. It all falls at their feet. No matter how much I try to break it down, people ask me questions like, "Hey, what do you think? How do you think Ruben should line up for the next game?" And I go, "He should line up outside Sir Jim's office. Is where he should be lining up."
true.
Like you know what I mean? I don't have an answer for you. Like
I
all
mean,
have
I
is-
literally had 2 points when you asked if he can function in a two-man midfield, and both of them essentially involve signings. Which is the first is that I don't think he necessarily can function in a two-man midfield, but I think he is the best option we have. And I think we've seen that when we tried to play a 3-4-3 with Casemiro and Agate. He is literally the only player we have that can do the ball progressing part of the two-man
Yeah.
midfield that Ruben wants. Which ironically at Sporting was the job that Hjulmand, who was the more physical player, was doing. He doesn't really want the Bruno side of it to be doing that job. He wants the defensive anchor to be doing that job. He wants Bruno to be the one that would be marauding up, getting the pass from that guy potentially. And then the other one I put is I think he would function better in a two-man midfield if he had a better defense behind him, particularly. And this feels weird because I always say I like Heaven, who has been playing this role. But the centre back in a 3-4-3, as the way Amrim tries to play it, should practically be a defensive midfielder. He should be almost like John Stones was when Pep would occasionally play with a three at the back and Stones would play almost like a defensive midfielder. You make up for that two-man midfield by positionally changing that centre back into a DM while you're in the ball.
Well, I think Osman Diomande was a DM who got brought back to a
And
centre
he
back.
did that role
How tall,
for him.
how
I
tall
mean,
is
he
he?
had
Is he
Ignacio as
6'3",
well.
6'4"?
Yes,
Or-
Diomande is
yeah, Inacio-
6'3", I think.
Yeah, he's dude. Diomande is
Yeah.
huge, so he's
Yeah,
way
yeah.
too mobile to remain
And
there. But
also, just Vinny, just as a imagine if you put him as right attacking mid, right, and then
Yeah,
you put
yeah.
Dumfries as the right wing back, you wouldn't have the same issue we have with like Dalo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that guy
Yeah.
would be the width, and he just darts into more pockets of spaces everywhere.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's
fair enough,
but that's I listen. I'm with Simix here. I'm with you. Like we definitely need better players, and if our issue is we bought players and now you're discussing maybe we need to get rid of Bruno, you're in a good position right now. It's basically untenable at this point.
No, it doesn't work.
And-
This
and-
injury
and I'm-
proves it. This injury
Yeah.
and our XG dipping, you're just sitting there going like, we should have never gone to this point. This is one of those where you're an investor and you don't diversify, and then that one investment tanks, and now you're broke and wondering if you can borrow, meals from your neighbor. That's how I feel with the Bruno injury. It's like we should have pre-planned for this. We've had years to fix this issue. We've had years to fix this issue. You got rid of Rashford, who was the only other guy that maybe could score on his own. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not saying his attitude was the best, but I am saying on his day, Rashford could win you to a game.
But doesn't it speak more volumes that a player that is non-Amarim profile in the one of the two midfield slots, his quality and his what he brings to the team in Bruno is more valuable than a player that could play in multiple positions in this setup in Rashford, one that didn't apply himself, one that didn't show that he wanted to stay in Manchester, and then aside all the fact that he wasn't a good professional. Like I think that when we say we had all this time to prepare for Bruno before, after, maybe the idea is that this 3-4-3 is not so dogmatic in that, just like Ryan said, in a proper 3-4-3, we didn't have Licha at the beginning of the season. The player that should be going into that midfield is Licha. That is our absolute best center back in the whole squad. It's not De Ligt. De Ligt doesn't have any type of progressive passing ability. It's not going to be Heaven right now because as much promise as he's shown, you need a little bit more wisdom and guile. And Yoro is just, to me, Yoro, I'm at such a weird spot. I wrote a really...
He's not ready. He's not ready.
He's not ready.
Good.
But
he's good.
The way that his body is... No, I'm not going to give him the nepotism shots that I was talking about Jack Fletcher. But when you're talking about... and by the way, I will stand by that because I don't think that's an unfair accusation. That player, for the qualities that he has and what it is in the squad, I'll find you 3 more players in the exact same squad depth that I could find from the academy. And this is just from my eyes, okay? Doesn't have the physical profile, but Jim Thwaites immediately.
Yeah.
That player.
Yeah.
Sir Jim. Oh yeah.
Sekou
Oh
Kone
yeah.
and Jacob Devaney.
Jim.
Those 3
Yeah.
immediately provide more value added than what Jack Fletcher did. Jack Fletcher was a zonal cut passing lanes. You talk on FIFA, he's like just that. He's like a 10 that was playing cut passing lanes. It was very bizarre.
One of the things that, Sean, not to cut you off, just so that I can add on, and I'll leave you to complete your point. And Ryan, because he's at Stockport, maybe you do watch more like U21 stuff or U18s. But
he's like no.
He's like no. Okay, fair enough.
I do watch a lot of them actually.
Yeah, Vinny, you watch. Okay, so
Yeah.
the thing
I
that
have to stay 1,000 feet away from the U18. No, I'm joking.
But the thing that gets me is, and by the way, I'll even give Amarim a little bit of credit here, which is he maybe didn't know who the better players are in the U23 and U21 and U18. But let's be clear, he chose the worst ones in terms of Jack Fletcher and Tyler Fletcher.
Yeah.
Tyler's the DM, and Jack is the attacking mid. But the guy who actually attacks better is Shea Lacey. He's the better one because we attack with our width for our U20s, U21s. So it doesn't make any sense. Mantato was a fullback, moved up to a winger. It didn't make sense why he chose him. And to me, it's whoever told him, choose Chido Obi on the bench when Biancheri is better than him, doesn't make any sense. And that's one of the reasons why I go, maybe whoever told him.
Just to support you, Nelson, on this. I think Sekou Kone is the best progressive midfielder we have. Together with Jacob Devaney.
You mean youth, right? Not in general.
Youth, yeah.
No. I'm talking about the youth setup. I'm not.
Okay, good.
about this.
I was just making sure. I was like really confused, and I was like, hold on.
No. The guy has this kind of academic characteristics, and I don't know if you have followed the La Masias. You know how those kind of type of midfielders are. They are forward thinking instead of actually going backwards. Their first option is to go forward. And that's how Sekou Kone is. Unfortunately, he got injured, right? And Nelson, you made a very brilliant point on Andy's podcast the last time that he's not playing the best. He's not playing the best youth players that we have. So I think he needs to rethink about his decision on Tyler and Jack. I don't want to go to the nepotism thing that Sean actually mentioned because, of course, if your dad is a coach, come on, sometimes.
What is his dad, by the way? Fletcher's been like
Is
7
he
different
technical
roles.
director?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
He
been
was
in, like,
he was a director of youth development, and now he's been, I think, full time under 18 coach.
You know, all
think
his old teammates used to call him Sir Alex Ferguson's teacher's pet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's probably
yeah.
someone that's really
Yeah.
easy to get along with, and you don't want to
Mm.
Yeah.
sack, like, no matter who you're sacking.
he was the
and he
Mason
knows
Mount.
what he, like. I'm not gonna.
Yes,
I'm also
he
gonna
was.
say the guy knows football. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that's the only reason why he has a job. I'm just saying he's probably a really likable guy who's very respectful, but also knows his football.
Well, beyond the knowing football, he knows the culture of the club, and that's
Yeah,
regardless
yeah,
something
yeah,
that
yeah,
that
yeah,
you have
yeah.
to value. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of getting legends into the club for that reason, to know what the value of the
Yeah.
badge is. Because when we bring in players, sometimes they need somebody to help transition and understand. Just from a like pressure standpoint, we're talking about how Cunha is underperforming. Well, I think the pressure of carrying United is much different pressure than carrying the Wolves. So
Yeah.
that's a transitory step that he's not allowed to grow into now, and you don't know who's there giving him that type of advice as well. Same with Sheshko. I mean, it would be great if he had some quality legacy nines that would come in and say, you know what, this is how I do it. This is how not even in the squad, just former legends that would tell him exactly how to do that. They don't, because there is now a barrier between the Ineos led and Glazer regime than there was during Fergie's time when you had him and oh my god, losing my mind.
David Gill.
Anyways,
David Gill.
Gill, yes, exactly. So what I'm worried about is
Sean,
we've-
to add to your point,
Go-
the
go
the period when what's his name, Marcus Rashford had his best season, we had
Yeah.
Benny McCarthy here,
yes,
and Benny
yes.
McCarthy
Yeah.
literally, you heard it from everyone saying Benny literally helped strikers understand how to move with the ball, how to shoot the ball, the technique and everything.
Yeah.
And it doesn't shock me that when he left, by the way,
Yeah.
he's a Kenyan coach. Yeah. So when he left, it's not shocking that our strike force, every single player, all dropped in, like, because he understands
Yeah.
the whole mindset of what a striker should. When you're going through a bad patch, he can talk you through how to get out
Yeah.
of it. Well,
Yeah, letting
any
him
high
go
level-
might have been a bad idea.
yeah.
Any high level organization, when you have players of this value with this much wages and this much surrounding them, it's not just them showing up to work, showing up to Carrington, and then showing up for matches and then going home. It's a whole ecosystem that involves very specific skill set. From down to their culinary chefs all the way to actual tactical and technique specific coaches. Like LeBron, wherever he would go, he would bring his old coaches from Cavaliers and etc. That is just a non-starter. He needs to have that type of support in order to maintain that level. I hate LeBron.
David De Gea brought his own.
Exactly. So what Semix, we talked about this on Andy's. Like, we're getting too into Moneyball here. We're getting too into looking at
Yeah.
spreadsheets and trying to do marginal gains, looking at data. I hate this. I really
I do.
dislike this.
Big
Oh, man.
organizations make this mistake all the time.
Yep.
The opposite swing into the opposite direction. Like, you take over a place and you go, here's why this place hasn't been successful. They haven't done enough of this, and this. And then they swing the paradigm all the way to the opposite side of the spectrum, to where it's like, well, now we're not going to buy a player unless all these data points line up. And then you just end up stagnant and impotent. You gotta find a middle ground.
You know
gotta
what
have a
data
couple of
doesn't measure, Semix? Pressure, emotion.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I thought you were going to say
Prestige.
something else. I thought you were going to say personality.
That
I
too.
was
That's
gonna
a big one.
That's
depends
a
on
big
how,
one. Yeah.
depends
And
on how
that's-
you use the word pressure. Is what I was gonna say.
But that's the difference between when you're the best club in England and you're a fallen giant. You don't get there by making these statistical analyses and all of that type of quantitative data work. You need just like you were saying, Semix, and I hate being like the guy that's always rebutting and the one that's giving a contrarian viewpoint, because I don't think that's positive to everything. But I do believe that one thing I just rings so true. We need some players now that are superstars. We need to compete with the best clubs in the world now. We can't be buying
Sure.
these youth players. We need actual superstars in here.
I
I
said
will
this.
say,
I said this a
Ready-made.
couple, like when I first started my channel. I made a video once and I said, whoever the damn Brazilian scout is for Real Madrid, who keeps finding these gems when they're like 15 years old in the middle of Brazil. Whatever Real Madrid's paying him, double it and go get him, because you're getting players like Vinny Jr. for 30 million or Rodrigo for 30 million, and you're getting Ederson's or not what's his name? What's their center back's name?
Hendrik.
Not
Eder
Hendrick, the
Militao.
center- Eder Militao. You're getting all these kind of players in from Brazil before they're superstars in Brazil, just because they were good
Yeah.
kids.
Do you know the
Go get
craziest
that
thing
scout.
is?
That scout's probably some humble guy who lives in Brazil who's not making millions of dollars. You know what I mean? Go get that scout and know that the data shows that scout knows what he's talking about.
No,
The
completely.
craziest thing about that, and I mean, this is the Football Manager person coming out with me here, but most of those players that Real Madrid signed from Brazil, Football Manager scouts them before Real Madrid do. It is actually ridiculous how
Ryan,
the
problem
Football
with that
Manager has
is-
the best scouting in the world, pretty much.
Yeah, but the problem is Woodward was known for using Football Manager,
Really?
and yeah, that's how
He was
actually
really bad at
scouted.
that too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was a-
exactly,
He
yeah,
must
he's
have
bad
been
at
a
that as
horrible FM. Yeah, he didn't pay for the editor.
How did we miss on Caicedo then?
No, we
Oh,
wanted
man.
Caicedo. It was
Yeah.
a whole. There's a whole
So-
issue with his agency.
So
or something.
Nelson,
Yeah.
Okay.
you had made a statement, and that you were
Okay,
like ready to
Yeah.
to call me out that the Glazers
Yeah.
have never been a roadblock for Ineos to pursue their targets.
Yeah.
So even though we hadn't a deal agreed with Sporting, in order to
Mhm.
blow that deal out of the water and make it such that he would not go to Arsenal, and now I'm again in hindsight, I'm happier with Sheshko, even though underperformance, whatever. And Ryan,
Yeah,
we don't have to
I
get into
won't.
it.
Well,
I
we
know.
won't start
Yeah,
this
we're good,
argument.
we're good,
Let's
we're
don't
good.
worry. We're fine.
But in order to secure the target, Man United wouldn't go higher to make it a deal that Sporting couldn't refuse. Instead, they just went to Arsenal, and then you had the whole talk with regards to, yeah, well, Gyökeres is still waiting to make his decision. And like this is where we've gotten the whole athletic thing coming through with the we only want players that come for us. Yeah, well, because we're not giving enough value for the players, and we're waiting for the market to determine what the least possible bid can be to either match it and then let the player decide, or just a little bit higher. Because we did bid higher, but if I guarantee you, if we bid a couple more pounds, something more up front, Sporting would say, "Hey, Arsenal, you have to do this." So make it impossible for the other clubs to get there, because
To
that's
match
what's
it,
needed
yeah.
for us to get back onto the spot. We need the clear run at the players that we need. And then I have a list of other players just under the Glazers ownership that we had, that we were linked with, that the Glazers would not match or go higher. Sergio Aguero. Ferguson admitted that the club were not willing to meet the £35 million asking price. Goes to City.
No value on the
35
market.
No
million.
value in the market. Mesut Ozil.
Let's be honest.
Mesut Ozil,
Mesut
Mesut Ozil from Werder Bremen.
Oh, yeah.
Rooney went and he specifically said, sign this guy. I don't care if he's got bug eyes. He can see the whole pitch with every single bit of that, periphery. 13.5 million pounds. The Glazers did not think that there was enough in there. David Villa. They refused to fork out 36 million pounds in 2010. Eden Hazard. Okay. Ferguson said he's a good player, but 34 million? Are you kidding me? Ferguson was known for paying the most to get the best players during the 90s.
Sean,
Okay?
But Sean, we got
Sean,
Shinji
Sean,
Kagawa.
I've got more. Ivan
Sean.
Perisic,
Sean, on Hazard,
Pedro,
right?
Frankie
I
de
think-
Jong.
Can you hear me, Sean?
I can hear you. I'm just
I think,
pissed.
I think Hazard really wanted to go to Chelsea rather than coming to United, because at that
remember
time
that
they were
one.
Yeah,
That's
they were the
one-
one.
that's-
No,
they were
no,
the
it was an
Champions
agent
League
thing. The
winners.
agent, no, it came out with Hazard. It was an
The agent
agent thing.
paid
The agent
know,
was
you-
paid more.
You think
Oh.
Hazard grew up loving Chelsea? Like Chelsea was
No.
nothing when Hazard was
They were nothing. So
No, at that time
there was
they had
a deal
they had
agreed.
won the
However,
Champions
the
League,
agent
right?
no, but that didn't matter.
So,
that's
so had
all,
we.
That's all. So this is all noise. This is what I say a lot. Signal to noise. Find throughout what people are saying and all what they're at that time. Chelsea were nothing, absolutely nothing. Hazard grew up wanting United. So
Also, how much longer, if we keep finishing the way we finished, do you think players are going to want to come to United?
Oh,
Like,
I
at
do,
some-
definitely.
We're a banter club.
I have said this, and this is where maybe Ryan and I disagree. But-
Semenyo is a
but-
prime example.
If we finish outside of the top 5, because I think 5th gets a Champions League spot this year.
Sure.
If we finish outside of the top 5, guaranteed, every single player we've talked about, Lamine Kamara's not coming, Anderson isn't coming, and the problem with that is repercussions. If you're telling me Anderson isn't coming to us or Kamara, we have fallen. Because now we're arguing with the Brightons. Now
But
we're
Nelson,
arguing with
Here's the thing
Newcastle.
that gets me. Kamara, for all he is, would still need time to grow into that midfield.
Adjust.
Maybe another
No
year.
chance.
So you
no.
no,
No.
but hear me
Kamara's-
out. No, hear me
Okay,
out.
go
Just
on.
let me
I'll
land.
hear you. I'll hear you.
A team of competency gets a Kamara for the future and an Anderson right now so that they can compete and have a pathway. We'll fall under the same shit we did with Lenny Yoro, same shit we do with Benjamin Sheshko, where you throw these guys who have insane ceiling potential. Because I don't care. I know, Ryan, you don't value him that much, but I'm going to value what the scouts at the top clubs say. Sheshko could be the next Zlatan type player. He could.
Yeah,
And we don't
100%.
disagree ceiling wise. But when you put him in an unfavorable environment where he has to take all the too much.
Let me
much
just
sauce.
quickly
No,
answer.
no,
I won't
no,
even
no.
annoy you with this. I can
That's
go
a
What
good one,
happened?
that's a
What,
good one.
did he run
I
out
was
of
gonna-
gas?
no,
What
somebody was
happened?
somebody was gonna say pause, and I would have started cussing. You could have had the beeper. Yeah. Thank you.
I think it
But-
was
but
me
that's-
doing this about Sheshko, right?
Yeah.
I'll quickly qualify it. I think Zlatan is easily the worst person you could have picked because Sheshko simply does not have the striking instinct that Zlatan did, and he doesn't have the arrogance that Zlatan did to ever become Zlatan.
I'll tell you
could have
what,
picked
like
better
Zlatan
examples,
was
but
already
yeah.
pretty damn good at Sheshko's age, so I can understand
Yeah.
why
But
you're
even-
saying
even
that,
without
Ryan.
that,
But I
like-
think Sheshko might be a late bloomer, like because he's
I hope
got
so.
the
Don't get me
athleticism.
wrong.
He has
But the
intangibles
mentality's
that you
not
just
there.
cannot teach. Whereas the aggression and those things, kind of like what I wrote in the deep thoughts. Semix, you gotta check out. I've been writing
Boys,
some deep.
can you
long
name me
form
one striker who's
Where?
a late
What are?
bloomer?
Wait. Time out. What, Sean? Where is these deep thoughts? Where can everybody, including myself, find it?
So Andy's Discord is a great place where obviously we have general stuff and we have memes and shit. But in the Deep Thoughts channel, sometimes like to help me decompress with the results that we have, or just like get my logic out on paper, I like to write and journal my thoughts. And I wrote a piece about how Aiden Heaven is serving as a perfect example for Lenny Euro and the different factors that led to that and why we're seeing such a better performance from Heaven's sake than we are from Euro. Euro has a high price tag. Euro has certain intangibles physically that you just cannot teach anyone. He's got extremely high IQ, but what he doesn't have is instinct. What he doesn't have is that ability to be perceptually so in tune with the game. And I highlighted a couple of GIFs from the Aston Villa game where just Heaven was bossing Watkins, like just intercepting, driving, just showing like, I know we say that Leach is the best center back for this 3-4-3. Heaven could be that going forward. He could, not right now. So to the same point, when you put a player that has such a high ceiling and everybody can, the guy's got a 50-inch vertical. His shot technique is fantastic. The goals that he scores are like Letitia level of just like, where did that come from? Giroud level. Okay.
I mean, I'll say
Now-
that shot from out wide when he
The first one.
held
the
off
first,
the two
yeah.
plays. I thought that was his best shot of the game,
Yeah,
despite the fact that it was probably the one that had the least chance of going in.
Of
So
course.
I get what you're saying with that, and I think you misunderstand me with Sheshko. I don't like dislike the guy or necessarily think that he has no future. I think it was a bad signing for what we needed, because I don't think anyone who scored 13 goals and 14 goals in the Bundesliga is going to come into the Premier League and score anywhere near enough to be considered
light it
a
up, yeah.
success for Manchester United at that price. I think it was exactly what we did with
Would
Højlund.
you?
Ryan,
I'm curious,
I am-
Sean and Ryan. Would you guys? Sean, go first, real quick. Would you have rather signed Ekitike? Be
1000%.
honest.
1000%.
Oh yeah.
And I
Although-
love, listen,
no.
I love Sheshko. Ekitike, from a technical standpoint, okay, here's the thing that I will give you, Semix. He had the same rawness as Sheshko when you look at what he provided for that Frankfurt team. But when you looked at it, you would have said, "Oh, Marmoush is a much better like certified star than what Ekitike is." But Ekitike is a baller. Now he's one of those that they've hit the ground running, and he just knows how to find the back of the net. I still think we could see that type of spurt with Sheshko. He's just been extremely unfortunate. Very unfortunate. It's
I
not.
haven't heard anyone respond to my question.
Sorry,
Provide me a late blooming striker.
How late was my question for that? And I've got
Yeah,
one
what do you
immediately.
consider
Give me
late?
one.
Because Sheshko's
Give me
like
one.
22.
I can give you one
22.
immediately.
22, yeah.
Jamie
Yeah,
Vardy.
that's not that late yet.
Oh no,
So
but
what-
Jimmy,
Vardy.
come on. But Jimmy Vardy's not.
Hey, no,
Sorry.
dude.
That's a
You gave me a
horrible take.
freebie.
No. Jimmy Vardy's a horrible take because he just moved.
I would
up
say Welbeck.
levels. He was always scoring though.
Welbeck didn't
No,
come into his
Welbeck's
own.
not a good striker. Not even now.
Because I'd say
Yeah.
Lewandowski was relatively late. He was about 22.
Lewandowski was
23.
banging goals at Dortmund at 20,
He was
23.
like 22, 23 when he started.
Yeah.
So
scoring.
Sheshko's
The
22.
first season he scored like 9.
Yeah, but we're talking about a guy who was banging 40 goals a season.
Brother,
I-
that's like insane.
Well, I mean,
I-
I'm saying, are you thinking Sheshko's going to make a jump from
Oh, no,
15 goals in the
I'm just
Bundesliga
giving you
to
an
like
example of what you said.
20? Oh, okay. No, because I have never seen
No, I don't think
every,
it's him.
every single elite striker, every single one, they always bang goals at a lower level.
well, okay,
Zlatan
so
did it.
Ian
Level.
Wright,
Mm-hmm.
he didn't hit the ground running until like, so he was at Palace at what 22, and then when
Yeah.
he transferred
he's
to
a late
Arsenal, he was
bloomer,
22.
yeah.
He was a very
yeah.
late bloomer.
Yeah.
Um,
right,
Luka,
yeah.
Luka, Tony, Miroslav
No, I think
Klose,
He
Didier
was around
Drogba.
27.
Miroslav Klose is the only one, I would argue. No,
Didier Drogba was when his
Les,
age-
no,
Drogba-
no.
Didier
Remember
Drogba
Les?
banged
No,
goals at Marseille.
no.
Drogba was
But
banging
also,
in
remember
France.
Les Ferdinand. He had his first 20 goals when he was at Newcastle. He was when he was 29. That was a late bloomer.
Bashon was Les Ferdinand a good striker?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you
He
think
was.
Giroud was good when he was young? Because Giroud didn't get good till he got older.
I
Eden
thought he
Dzeko
was.
wasn't
He
that
was at-
good
he
when
was at
like
Ligue
young.
No,
1.
he always
He was the
was.
goalkeeper.
When he was at Ligue 1. He was at Ligue 1 at Montpellier 25,
When they won the league.
and that's when they won the league.
Yeah,
Okay.
he won the league when
So
he was there.
so
Giroud was
guys,
always
let's
good.
won the
let's
goal.
kind of reframe
Like
our
25.
yeah. Let's
not
reframe
22.
ourselves. Yeah, let's
Drogba
reframe
was
ourselves.
late, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Drogba was late.
Drogba was
Falcao.
definitely late.
Falcao was definitely late. Forlan. Forlan had a very good
He's the-
like.
He's the only one I could hear. Is Falcao.
Not Drogba.
Falcao was the only one who was.
We just gave you- we
always
gave
a-
you-
Drogba
We
wasn't
gave
that
you.
good.
1 second. Drogba was
Okay.
amazing at Marseille, guys.
Drogba
What
was
are we
amazing
talking
at
about?
Marseille. Even-
You guys
even
didn't
before
watch him
Marseille.
at Marseille. That's what I was saying.
Even
He was
Even
insane.
before Marseille, he was good.
You guys
I
don't forget. You guys only saw Drogba at Chelsea. Drogba was literally one of the
That's
best
true.
strikers.
I didn't see Drogba anywhere
Yeah,
else.
he
That's
was
why I'm like, I never
insane.
heard of him until,
Yeah,
until he
but-
was
Wasn't he,
older.
he was like 25 at Marseille, right? 24, 25?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, but he was
relatively
That's
he was
old.
still cold.
So that's still.
But that's what I mean by
So
late
guys,
bloomer.
we're not out of.
Oh, that's your late bloomer's
Dro-
25.
Wait,
Well,
hold
so-
on. If Drogba's not
so
a
you
late
mean
bloomer
really
at
late?
25, then
Yeah.
Sheshko's right on time.
Because
That's what I'm
if you're
saying.
telling me Sheshko's gonna jump from like right now, where
To
let's be honest,
Drogba at
this season,
25. Marseille
clarify,
Drogba
I don't
at
even think
25.
yeah,
Sheshko
you're
will.
gonna say Marseille Drogba at 25.
Marseille
Okay.
Drogba at 25.
I've got some magic beans to sell you, buddy.
100,
I mean,
100
you know-
bucks.
you know
3
my
years
thoughts
from
on
now, you
Sheshko.
better be around. You're gonna give me
No,
100.
but the thing is, there's 3 years.
I'll
There's
pay.
3.
Sorry, go on, Sean.
No, but I mean, we are acting as if we've signed like a 26-year-old, 27-year-old that has just shown it, and that we're expecting that level now. This guy was always going to take some time, and this is just like our team. We finished 15th last year. You don't get to top 4 in 1 year with only 200 million investment in this year's Premier League. So it's a reframing of what our expectations are. We really need to understand that our players are not ready. And even the marquee players we signed, they're not ready to have that responsibility. And that just falls on Ineos. We shouldn't be betting on these horses that haven't shown that they're Kentucky Derby winners.
100%.
That's all it is.
120%.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think I will say, to play devil's advocate and give Ineos some defense, I'll take the Shailene role, even though I don't like Ineos. But anyway, I think they have hit on the vast majority of their signings, so they are doing something right. I think the recruitment of like Erik ten Hag and the Glaziers before Ineos compared to the recruitment now is a hell of a lot better. I think, I mean, ETH to make Samix's point about diversification earlier, ETH put a load of money into ETFs and it all plummeted because all of the players we signed under him are now just used, like, I don't even know how to word it respectfully. They're damaged goods and they're part of the problem. They're what we need to get rid
You
of.
can just say criminal because literally
Yeah.
there was some sort of backdoor deals going on where every one of his signings were
SEG.
attached to his
Yeah.
It was actually criminal. It was
Yeah.
actually
FCG, yeah.
there's money going into people's pockets that don't need to be going into people's pockets to make those deals happen. In my opinion, and I know I'm just throwing out allegations here, but I can say it with a little bit of chest. Like I've never seen summers where every transfer is two players that are signed to his same agency.
The Hoyland
people
literally
just-
had
no,
to
it
join
was
his
it was
agency.
confirmed. It was confirmed not only for here but at Leverkusen.
Yeah,
That
he did same.
there was an SCG connection and that he
Yeah.
tried to have his say in the transfer dealings, and that was one of the straws that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was here to make money, and he was successful. He
Even
made,
Hoyland, Hoyland wasn't
Hoyland
signed
had
to
to
his
join him.
agency, but he got an agency fee
Yep.
through that. Like
Yeah.
what the hell?
Who was the player that we had to sign in order to get another player? I always forget. There was a player where they said
Is it Matthijs de
everyone
Ligt?
says we signed. Was it Xerxes? No, it wasn't Xerxes.
Is it de
I
Ligt?
can't remember.
We had to sign the leg to get. We had to sign the leg.
Mazraoui to get De
Mazraoui.
Ligt.
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
Mazraoui.
Well, ironically, that was a good signing.
Yeah, that was a great signing.
I mean, if we so I see most of Ineos's dealings as failing upwards right now because the team finished so poorly out of the Ten Hag season. Like the FA Cup win was a fluke. They scammed that win. Okay, fine. And then Ten Hag just had a horrible beginning of the season. Players lost all total confidence. You get in a guy in Amorim who's up and coming manager. Don't get that honeymoon period whatsoever. He makes a couple of easy instant wins, boots out Rashford, takes a lot of toxic forces out of the club. They
I
finished
don't know
that season.
why did you? I agree with everything you said except for the word easy. Like
It's an
I don't
easy
think
decision because when you're coming into a management, in any scenario where you have a group of people that are subservient to you, if you have a quote unquote company favorite that is not putting in their type of professionalism or share the work, sometimes, and you see this in every sport, to make an example of the standards, you boot them out so that it doesn't matter if the fans enjoy him. It then empowers the rest of the team to say, oh, he really means business. It's an authority making move. So that's the easy decision to make. The difficult decision would be to say, hey, I got to work with finding out ways where he's not on the piss and not gambling 2 weeks' wages worth in the morning. And then because I got to make sure I stay in good favor. Amorim led by his principles, and that is fantastic. But I do believe there was also a hierarchy move where they said, sacrifice the league. We need CL no matter what. So he just acquiesced. Instead of like this year, he's viewing, I got to win every single game and I'm going to extract everything I can, even if it means adapting to a new formation system before I want to, because I'm forced to, because I have no profiles anymore. Like that to me is he's had to compromise. It's had to be something in which he's taken more input from the hierarchy. So at the end of the day, like, yeah, go ahead.
something
Can
you
I be
said right
harsh?
now that actually,
Can-
go ahead.
Can I be really harsh here? Because this
Yeah.
is harsh.
Yeah.
Every coach doesn't get what they want. Let's be clear. And
Yeah.
two, adapting is literally one of the core tenets of a good coach.
Yeah.
So and to be honest with you, I think it took Amorim too long, but I agree with his decision of why he wanted. The fact that he said if he did it early, the players would have just
Lost
stopped playing
respect
for
and-
him.
yeah.
I totally get that. And by the way, I was one of the guys praying he adapts, but when I heard his reasoning, I'm like, that's a fair enough reason for me to listen to you.
Yeah.
But this season, I feel bad for the guy because I know that he has to get Champions League or our club is like, we're going to be the new Newcastle. I can clearly tell. I could see it going that
So my
direction.
issue is, if he has to compromise and make do with what he's got, why won't Ineos compromise and say for the interim we'll take some less hits on our new I forget the acronyms. There's so many, PSR, FCR, whatever. Let's
Yeah.
just go for loan signings. Let's just go for immediate depth in
Yeah.
squad in certain profiles.
Yes.
You know what?
In
We can't get you
fairness,
your number one.
Amorim
ahead.
doesn't want that, and has said he doesn't want
Do
that.
do we know he doesn't want that?
No, I
We-
don't think he does.
I don't think he
would take
doesn't.
it.
I think
Unless
he'll
he's
take
just
it.
saying it as fanfare for Ineos.
Yeah,
That's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
doing.
He's
Yeah,
he-
yeah, yeah.
So Amorim, for all intents and purposes, has shown he's okay with being the fall guy. He'll say it's either I can walk out if I'm not getting the results, I will walk. No, you
Yeah.
don't say that if you become defensive. You say, oh well, you know.
What every other
it's obvious
manager
why we
does.
lost. Yeah, exactly, and that's why we've given him so much leash as well. He's the most honest manager that we've had from a emotional standpoint of what there is. Ten Hag would gaslight us into post game conferences of what happened during the game. I'm like, what the hell are you
Yeah,
talking
the
about?
single
It
favorite
wa-
thing
it was
Amorim
defensive.
ever said.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on, Vinny.
Oh no. It was just on Ten Hag. He was very defensive.
Yeah.
And
And
also
also he
coupled with
was-
the fact that
and-
English wasn't his.
I was gonna say there is as much as we joke about the suffering, and actually it was so cool for Be Cool to represent what suffering means in Portuguese. But if you want to talk about directness or arrogance or whatever, I'm not going to say it. Vinny can say it for sure. Dutch have a different way of communicating that
Yeah.
the
Yeah, true.
English, and even
Yeah.
from a player level, and it's beneficial in a lot of ways. But when you're under the cosh and your job's on the line, and you have to just demonstrate that you have authority over something, yeah, it can become abrasive. So there's a lot of reasons why, I guess, Ten Hag's tableside or bedside manners aren't as good as Amorim's.
So
So, I
someone
mean,
explained this
even-
to me, right?
So go on,
Someone
sorry.
explained this to me. Last season, Ineos and the board asked Amorim to sacrifice the Premier League for the Europa League so that we can get into the Champions League. Are we all going to say that story is true? Are we
Yes.
buying that?
I don't
I
think
think
that's
so.
true.
I'm buying
I
it.
don't
I
think
think
that's
it's true.
I'm
I
buying
think
it.
it's true.
So let's say most of
buying
us
it.
buy it, other than Nelson. Most of us
Yeah.
buy it, and that's fair, Nelson. But here's my thing: if that's what the board does, and they ask a guy to sacrifice the league for something because they want to get into Champions League, right now it's the board's turn to sacrifice, right? Like that's what Sean's, I think, saying. That right now there's a chance to get into Champions League if they do something in January.
Yep.
And now it's like you can't ask the manager to sacrifice anything. Now it's on you. You have to sacrifice your money or whatever freaking numbers you were hoping to get at the end of this quarter to go ahead and have a realistic chance at Champions League. And I don't think a loan is it, man. I really just I don't know how to say it because I take a loan over nothing. So I understand what you guys are saying, and I understand the people that say like Amorim would take a loan. Of course he would. Who wouldn't? Like you're fighting with no weapons. So if someone's like, "I'll give you a dagger to go to a knife fight," I'd rather take a dagger than fists. You know what I mean? To whatever. I just here's my other problem. I really was hoping that last month I would hear a story where everybody got to meet on a yacht and or a fishing trip or wherever the hell it was that like before every transfer window where Sir Jim has like everyone come to his yacht or his, fly fishing somewhere, because then I would have known that there's some plans set for this January. And the fact that I didn't hear anything about any kind of yacht party or fishing trip, I'm like, what's going on, man? What are we having discussions? Are things happening? Is that
It
fair?
feels more the same. It feels more any type of a business that was unfinished in the summer. They're just gonna take a look at. They're gonna go through their binder, and they're gonna tap them up. And then other than that, they're gonna open up new folders on Yan Diomande. They might have one on some other young prospects, Jeremy Jacquet. But I don't. For as desperate as the transfer strategy was in the summer, I don't think they've got a fire under their ass. I think they're going to tell everyone we want to make midfield signings, we want to do this, and that might result in a loan signing at the late week of January. But other than that, I've not seen any statement of intent from Ineos that would demonstrate they're ready to put this team into the Champions
Yeah.
League. I think they're from everything I've heard, that internal goal of 6 through 8, we're gonna probably meet that, and we just have to accept that the results are gonna be like this if we're not gonna sign a midfielder.
But it's 6 through 8. I thought that was the Oberada's specific claim. I don't think that was actually Ineos, because Ratcliffe had said he wants us to get a Champions League. Berada's the one who said we could
I
go
think
2
I think
seasons.
the murmurs are that Ratcliffe thinks that this squad is good enough to get top 4.
Yeah, I
And
read
then
that.
the things
yeah.
before that, are saying that internally the goal is 6 through 8. They would see this as a good job. And honestly, Semix, James made a great point in his personal estimation on how he views Amram's trial or litmus test for the rest of the season. If he doesn't make an improvement for these next 19 games, the second half, then his job is going to be under scrutiny. Like it always is. But we've got, 30 points through 19? In order to get around that spot, especially in a very competitive league this year,
What do we
which
need,
might be a
60?
little bit lower, we're going to need 65 probably. I think 65
and what
is
if
that
and what if Bruno doesn't play in 6 games?
Well, of course, no. There's outside factors, but he's still going to be liable for being the
Semix,
the
these are
manager.
These are investors, bro. Like they literally only look at final results.
Yeah.
They wouldn't care about Bruno was out for 2 months.
But
or
Nelson,
whatever.
to Semix's point, if there is going to be a risk in the future that you're not going to have the availability of the guy that was one of the sole causes, you look at, he's the number 1 in XGA, and just like he's our chance creator. There's no denying it. If you're now banking on Ruben to now in some way find a different method of chance creation, where we've seen if we have a dilapidated squad, you can cut that number in half. Okay, then we're
Do you
not
know
going to see the
what-
same points.
Do you know why I think if and I would like to hear you guys' points, but if Bruno's injury was worse than we thought, which is probably 2 or 3 weeks where he's going to be out, the fact that we haven't had any conversation about a creative midfielder, not one, because even if you're getting Kamara or Baleba, those are not creative midfielders; those are sixes.
They solve the progression, but they don't solve the chances created.
Exactly. So if you're bringing those guys in, we're still gonna have the same issue.
That's why even though it's agent talk, Ruben Neves, I'm all game for that. I mean, from a
I've been
passing
saying
distribution,
this.
from a passing distribution standpoint, even post Saudi, I'll take that.
You guys
I
are
still
talking
think-
me into it because I'm starting to get hopeless. Like
That's what I'm saying. So Semix, when you start from the ground up, you'll take anything, and that's what I think. This whole Ineos is doing a madness thing. I've never thought Ineos have done an exemplary job. I've questioned whether or not we have a lot to blame Ineos for, but now that I see how they're approaching the windows and how I've seen how complacent they are and their over reliance on statistical analysis to like get to this point, I started to think, oh man, these guys are just like every other consulting based outfit. They're going to go in, they're going to tell you everything that's wrong. They're going to give you an outlandish goal 2 to 3 years away, and then they're going to beep F up along the way. They're going to along the way and then get you to a point where you're going to say, well, we're going to have to spend 500 million anyways because Bruno's out the door. Casemiro is gone. We've got injuries. We've got unexpected things happening. So it's just, it's more the same. And this is what happens when you don't have football people in those positions. Actual
More than that.
legacy football people from United. These are ex-City. These are ex-City players. These are like that legacy. You can't teach what it's like. They've had their childhoods ruined by United, but they don't know what the pressure is to carry that badge, and that's the difference.
Yeah, I said it to Shailene in Andy's Discord, but if you actually look at Ineos's track record with sporting organisations, it is probably the most depressing thing you can do. Every single sporting organisation they have taken over without fail has gotten worse, and they have taken over some really, really good organisations.
Yeah.
Mercedes was winning the Formula One constantly before they took over. Now they're not. Team Sky was one of the most dominant cycling teams in decades, and now they're crap. Lausanne,
Nice were
now they're crap.
perennial
Nice were
Champions
consistently
League
top
team.
4. Now
Yeah.
they're crap. Every single one, without fail, got worse.
Ryan, I
and if
think
you
the
actually
issue
look
is
into
too,
sorry, go
they
on.
look at Blueco and they have a hard on for what they've done, and that scares me.
yeah, because they
but
see
the-
money.
But Blueco, let's be honest, and I think all of us would agree here. If Abramovich hadn't stated that they spend $1 billion, they would definitely not have spent the money.
I don't know about
think they
that.
would have.
I don't know
think
about
they would
that.
have spent
I don't know if
a bill.
I agree with that. Because they
I
kept
don't think
spending
they would.
afterwards. No, they still spent after.
And
You-
guys,
you also need to
let's not
remember-
forget the political implications. I hate to just make this like such a black and white thing, but when they forced him to divest, that was a placation of the global political landscape of the war with Ukraine.
Of
and
America
Russia.
v. Russia as well.
Exactly. So then, in order to give them a little bit of leeway, we haven't seen too much in terms of penalties for the dodgy dealings they've had with regards to asset washing, with regards to selling the hotel to themselves. The women's team, United could do that. It's just like anything you do. Like when you have a company and you have an executive that's gambling way too much, loses $500,000 of the company. Guess what the company's worth now? Whatever it was worth plus $500,000. That's what they've done exactly with their quote unquote assets. It's just fraud, just plain and simple. So we need to now understand that, are there certain intangible things to look forward to? I do like that Jim is trying to integrate himself with the city of Manchester and in the Northwest region, but from a fan standpoint, that also feels like he's siphoning from the government funds.
Ooh,
100%.
He's a billion.
I also,
He's a
if you
bit-
actually look into some of the things, it's
hasn't
crazy.
didn't he decrease his the plant in Hull City? He decreased the entire operation of it. He's now a bunch of the Belgian plants and everything, and he's now Ryan. Is he not a Monaco guy now? He lives in Monaco now. He doesn't
Probably.
live in
I'm not too sure, but
Manchester.
probably.
Yes,
but I mean,
Yeah.
even in
And,
terms
he's
of like
a
local
Londoner.
fans,
He's not
Yeah,
he's
he's a
not
Londoner
from
too.
Manchester,
Yeah,
you know? Like,
that's
come
true.
on.
he-
Like this
he
whole
also-
Manchester roots is sorry, Ryan. Go ahead.
Go on,
He
sorry, Ryan.
if you actually look into his plans for the stadium, he very much wants it to turn it into an American-esque stadium, like
Yeah.
sort of day
Senex and
trip
I
thing.
are 20 minutes
He's-
away from his
SoFi?
quintessential SoFi. When they went to
Yeah.
SoFi, they saw it, and dude, it is listen, it's impressive. I'm a tech guy. I love cool screens and everything, and they have like cool little lounges, but that is not quintessential British heritage at all.
No,
It's
but
everything
beyond that, he
gaudy and
wants to-
American, you know.
He wants to turn it into a tourist day trip. He doesn't
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
the typical like local fans. He wants the people that are going to go there for a whole day, stay in it like it's a mall. Like he wants it to be an entire. I can't remember the word now. What is it you
Like
call
a
it?
village.
No, there's a word that you have in America for like the stadium where it has shops and all of that type of thing, but I can't remember anyway. It's really going to annoy me. I can't remember
That's
what it's called.
But you're
you
right.
get the
It-
point.
yeah.
He wants to turn it into a spectacle to fleece.
I really
Foreign
wish he
fans.
would have just bought an American team.
Yeah.
Like if that's what he wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say he almost contrasts with American companies as well, in that American companies, from what I know at least, that own sporting organizations generally do so with an ulterior motive and don't care how much they spend to get what they want. Like the whole, there was the Dallas Mavericks thing, right, where they want to open a load of casinos, so they bought a
Yeah.
team and spent tons, and
And
then
that's why they got rid of Luca. Luca was their star asset, and they created
Yeah.
false narratives out there that he wasn't willing to work hard.
Is
and
that why they
we're
got
talking
rid of
about like
him?
a top?
Yeah.
Can I just tell you that like
That's why they got rid of him. So that
my girlfriend's family is all from Dallas, and we just spent Thanksgiving in Dallas. Well, I went to San Antonio, but all of her Dallas side of the family was there, and they were all Dallas Maverick fans, and all of them said that they've been boycotting like watching the games because of that whole deal. Like they're so upset at the
Makes
ownership.
sense.
But that's the
Yeah.
thing with Blueco and Chelsea. The land that the Chelsea Stadium sits on is outrageously expensive land. So they, even if they invest billions, if they have an eventual plan for that land that goes outside of football, they will not lose money. Whereas Ineos with Manchester, even with the new stadium and the whole Jewel of the North, it's nonsense. It's just, it will never have that same monetary value as Chelsea.
And that's the reason why, instead of putting in money themselves,
They're
looking
trying to
get-
asset strip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where you hear everything that they're saying is all they want to bring different markets that are better, more poised, and have that certain addressable market and they want to say of the North. We want to build the Wembley of the North. We want to have this and that. It's like, no, those things operate well in those markets because you have that type of tourism that is based towards that city. Manchester is not like that. Manchester
No.
is a working class
But he
capital that
Ratcliffe wants it to be. That's why he
Yeah,
originally tried to
exactly.
buy Chelsea before he tried to buy United.
that's what I say.
Um,
He that attempt was not some type of signaling like I've got the money so I can go get Manchester. No, that was a tender offer. He wanted to buy.
oh
Chelsea.
yeah, he wanted Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
If he
biggest
could move-
fear.
Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
All I was going to say, if he could move Manchester United to London, he would do so in a
He would,
heartbeat. If he could keep
100%.
everything else,
how?
Yeah.
if he could
Yeah.
keep the
That's a
same
hell of
playing
a
support
take.
and everything.
That's a hell of
He
a
would.
take.
Of
No,
course he would.
100%. He would do it in a
course he would.
heartbeat. Yeah.
Yeah, my biggest fear is that, like I said earlier, is that his whole plan is, hey, we'll try to spend, 180 to 225 million a year and see if we can do something. But even if we don't, we'll bring in enough young talent in the academy that 5 or 6 years from now, that might take care of the problem. And we might like just basically plant the seeds in the academy so that the academy, because he's talked so much about the academy being a form of making the club self-sustaining. And you see that with like, and I don't necessarily disagree with that plan. I just hate that might be the main plan, whereas that's not your secondary plan. Like,
You know what it is, Semix? It's the arrogance of I know how the success of other clubs worked, and that's why they're successful, and we're trying to do it over here. Whereas that type of ideology doesn't work for our club and our heritage. We need to just have
Yeah.
the best in class no matter what. We don't look at the academy as a profit sustenance model. We look at the academy as a semblance of the traditions that this club has had ever since the Busby Babes. So that's
Sean, my fear is we're going to become AC Milan. I don't know if you guys have followed how
of course.
the
of course. No,
Americans
I get it, yeah.
destroyed, and I'm not grabbing you Americans, but I'm just saying that.
Are we not already destroyed?
No, they destroyed Milan. Milan's
No, but
when they
are we not in that? Are we not in that state?
we're not even at the
with the
beginning, in my
Glazers?
opinion. No.
Guys,
I think-
Americans have already destroyed the club. The Glazers have
The
owned it.
Glazers.
for-
Yeah, that's what I'm
forgot
saying.
about
The
that.
Glazers have
I'm
already
not
done it.
like-
That's
like-
okay. I'm so sorry. Yeah,
this is
for sure.
this is like
I'm so
this is like
sorry.
what you take you take your abusive girl out and then you talk to your friends like, oh dude, I'm so glad she's not showing the signs
will
of
say-
just being a gaslighter and all this, and they're like, bro, you've been with her for 3 years. What are you talking about?
The Glazers have done a masterclass in deflecting
Yeah.
everything to Ineos. As much as I
Yes.
hate them, they have done an absolute
Yeah.
masterclass decision.
They
in
played
that
a
sense.
blinder.
Oh, it's only
Yeah, yeah,
benefited
yeah.
them. This is only, but they've been able to maximize their asset return and then deflect any type of accountability or responsibility, and that's why
Yeah.
I went so hard
But I
on them
can't-
in Andy's call. Go ahead.
But why are
Sims.
we blaming the Glazers for Ineos allowing this to happen? Like, why
Oh,
the
no, I'm
Glazers
not.
are taking
I'm just
advantage
saying
of
that-
what
that's what I'm
was
saying.
offered to
They've-
them.
They've played a blinder. That's what I'm saying. I'm giving them credit, not blaming them for what they've done almost.
I can still take a
Um,
judgmental opinion against the Glazers.
But
for
when
their
you
Oh, yeah, I
say
hate
a
them.
blinder,
Yeah.
doesn't that mean like Ineos
they've
didn't
done
see it coming?
fantastic. No,
Yeah, it
blinder
just means that they've done
fantastic.
a great job.
I don't
I'm just
think
saying they've
Ineos-
done a great job to deflect.
I think Ineos understand the English medium more than the Glazers did, and the way Ineos, I think Ineos understood there was going to be a shitstorm coming in,
Yeah.
and the
Nelson-
way they've navigated it is better
They
than
are
the
really
Glazers.
they are really playing it better.
Yeah, they are.
Because here is the case. Look, they are now trying to actually divert the job that Amorim is doing, and
Mhm.
every single noise that you hear from Man United is about the 3-4-3. It's about the system. Whenever we are playing, what commentators are saying, "Oh, are we gonna? Is Manchester United going to line up
Damn,
in
that's
4
like
back
that's
or
3D
3 back?"
chess though, Vinny. Like that, are you saying like Ineos picked Ruben so that the whole narrative changes about formation instead of like backing the manager?
Well, it might be. It might be.
I will
might be.
say, I think that it's not a coincidence that Amorim is doing 3 times the number of interviews that any other manager has done in the last 10 years.
And notice whenever we have 1 or 2 good results, you're going to see a Wilcox interview. You're going to see
Yeah,
a
exactly.
Jim interview.
But
The
pisses
moment
me
we
off.
start losing, they're out. You'll never see them
yeah.
again. It's fantastic. They're playing. If you're an insider of Manchester United, you're so happy at how these guys are running the game, because so when Sean told me about the whole vetoing, and I actually went and read up on this. Apparently, Ed Glazer, who's one of the Glazers we don't really talk about,
Yeah.
Ed is instrumental in every single decision, every single one. So if the person you should actually be blaming is Ed, but Ed's always been in the background. We only hear
Not
about
Joel,
Joel
not Joel Navram.
Yeah,
No,
that's the guy.
Ed's the one that
so-
looks like their dad the most.
Exactly
So
him.
how about this? How come none of us can tell you, like from a prescriptive or like descriptive point, which Glazer's which? They're just this whole. No, we can't. None of
What do
them.
you
Yeah,
mean?
they're just nameless.
They've done a public relations. I'm gonna take the word so it can. Be great.
Oh,
They've done
ready?
a public relations blinder. No. Oh shit. Fuck. No, damn it. My bad, dude. Okay, never.
I don't even know. As soon as I see his lips move,
Says blinder gets that muted, but allows the F word.
Oh, really
sorry.
sorry to go back to this. It was concourse. Concourse was the word I was looking for earlier.
No.
They want to turn the stadium into a concourse. So they
Oh,
have
that's
a concourse as well.
that's too French
a-
for American vocabulary. Concours
I thought concourse
d'élégance.
was like golf. Yeah, I thought that was like a
Yeah,
golf
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
No, but
Oh, really?
but concourse. I think that would be the right word. But still,
Mm.
It's like the
No,
area
what were you-
outside
what
the
were you
stadium.
what were you even saying? Like, what was I trying to beep?
oh, I was gonna say like they've done a public relations blinder with regards to how they've navigated these last 2 decades. Like
Yeah.
they're not in the front firing line. You have one or two of the siblings that have some type of association to the club, but it's all BS. It's like the same association I have to Dagon Redbridge when I play Football Manager. Like I don't I'm trying to get them up the table, but I don't have any association to them. Neither do
I
the
will
Glazers.
say, with the Ineos as well, they've let Ineos make decisions that the Glazers would never have gotten away with.
Yeah.
I've watched channels that I really respect, like Stretford Paddock, when Jim Ratcliffe was laying people off and like getting rid of bonuses and stuff like that. They were coming out in defense of him. If that was
It's
the Glazers,
insane.
they would have been
Oh my-
organizing
yeah.
protests
Well,
at the
Ryan,
stadium
I
and
was saying
tearing
that
it
all
down
the time.
brick by
I was saying
brick.
that all the time. That like an American would have never gotten away with this. Like,
So,
so
can I now? I'm going to regurgitate what I read here. So apparently, Ed was always a fan of getting rid of people, but the way he would do it was more expensive. So if you were playing a blinder or you were a good analyst, for instance, Mix, what would happen is Ed would make sure that you don't get a promotion. You would know that you're being stunted, and so you would leave. But the thing is, that would take a long time for you to realize this.
yeah.
What Ineos have just done is gone straight ahead and just said, yeah, we're just going to get rid of you. Whether or not you were good or bad or whatever, they just got rid of them. That's why I think Ineos have played a blind in terms of navigating the English media more than the Glazers. That's
And
all.
all the narratives at that time came out that like, oh, we have 500,000 more employees than Liverpool. I know I made up that number, but you know what I mean. Like the stories
Yeah,
were
and we'll
like
be
it was a
bankrupt by Christmas.
shockingly larger amount.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my God, we got 700 more employees than Liverpool do. How do we do that? Like we have to let people go.
Mhm.
And you're like, dude, can I get a real head count? Like, cause I can't believe that it's that much. Like I just can't.
But here's the thing that was funny, because they said our football operations were horrible, and then recently they got rid of the commercial side. And the commercial side, let's be honest, I've never seen more noodle sponsors, more tractor sponsors, more like
Mattress.
We've got
M.
sponsors
Lily.
for every single thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that side was working. The London office
Yeah.
was working. So the fact that they even got rid of them showcases how Ineos have been extremely like apparently they fly economy to get $100 million like deals. and stuff.
I look at United
That's so
like
stupid.
I look at United like Apple. When Apple came out with the iPhone, they had the product was amazing. Everybody bought it.
Yeah.
They were the number one in dominance. Ever since then, they start releasing new products. People will lose their like dominance in the market share. And then it's just becoming more bloated and bloated. And they say, "Oh, we have this great campus in Cupertino, this and that." It's like they're celebrating things that they're not currently doing, and they're not spending enough to take the R&D to create another product like that. So our
Exactly.
discomfort comes at the fact that you're basically pillaging us for our history and our stature in world football while doing nothing to maintain it. That's where the frustration is.
For me, I also think that they just leave too much money on the table in other departments like MUTV, which I'm a subscriber of. And like, I'm going, why is this trash?
Sure.
Like, you would have so many more people are, you know, become, by the way, thank you to everyone who's a member of my channel. but I am going to say, like, people are willing to pay for good content, even if there's just, you know, become members at a YouTuber's channel. MUTV only costs £5 a month.
Yeah.
And there's so many people out there that are untapped, like they're not paying it because the content sucks. Guys, I'm a member and I'm telling you right now at MUTV, I get better content on YouTube. I only turn on MUTV if I happen to have missed a game and I forgot to record it, so I want to watch a replay of it.
Yeah.
Other than
Well,
that,
watch it
there's
for
nothing.
youth. Honestly,
there's-
it's only youth
Yeah.
football
Yeah,
that I
I-
watch.
I-
Youth,
Even
etc.
even that's not that
I-
good. Like the camera angles
No.
aren't good. The quality is not good. There's no, and the podcasts they have on there are really
Oh, it's
bad.
horrible.
Everything about it is bad. The production level is bad, and you're going like you're missing out on a lot of money here. A lot of money. You would have.
I have some like an insider thing. Fuck it, I'll say it. So when United came to practice at UCLA, I'm a UCLA grad, but due to my friends that work with United and sponsors and whatnot, I had access to a lot of the preseason, festivities that they would do. And during that time, City and other clubs
Teams.
had started establishing their social media distribution strategy, and they were hiring very, very like their content was so optimized for YouTube. So every time we got in there, I would talk to certain individuals. I'm not going to, for anonymity's sake, I don't want to really discuss, but I told them how they were really falling behind with regards to their distribution strategy, the content that they're putting out there, and what is currently on the market. So even though at that time they were still esteemed as the highest and best in class prestige-wise, they were still falling behind with regards to what others were doing to capitalize upon these new markets that were opening. And I think that kind of embodies everything with regards to how they even view football, how they
But-
get people. Yeah, go ahead.
Shut, I've got a question. But don't you think when United were trying to create the Super League, wasn't that the point where they were going to actually update MUTV? Because I remember the conversations, and I remember this at Stratford Paddock specifically. They said they were going to start bringing in all the historical clips so that you
Yeah,
can
they
watch it
own
on
all of
MUTV.
those.
Yeah,
I
they
know
own
they
them.
own all them.
They just don't play them. And apparently it was because they knew that they would have to pay the Premier League a certain amount if they were to use it in the current model. But if they switched to the Super League, they would have had free access to do it.
Of
And
course.
we would have ended up going through that channel. So I do think they are making certain conversations like in the background.
But
I don't know
those
why they
are
don't come to fruition.
those are holistically very evil things when it comes to
True.
To approach. I'm talking about like actionable. You get a social media team and you hire these outfits and agencies. They just aren't doing that. They have legacy people in there that are 10, 15, 20 years older
Dinosaurs.
than. That's what I'm saying. It's a very so. I'm not even kidding. The people that I were talking to, I mean, they had no hair on their head. They were just like, I'm like, you're in charge of all the web content. You don't even know how to operate Twitter. Like, what's going on?
I will
So
say, I don't know if you saw the thing with Real Madrid recently, and the I don't know if it was a physiotherapist or something like that who came out and said, anytime she
yes.
tried to make a suggestion, they would say, "We do it this way," blah blah blah.
Yeah.
United definitely will have a very similar attitude towards that. The Ronaldo
Assuming
interview.
we don't do it now? I think we do
No,
it
yeah,
now.
we do.
Yeah.
The Ronaldo interview that everyone didn't very like with Piers Morgan, he spoke about how nothing had changed since he left and came
Yep.
back. He like the catering
That's
staff,
crazy.
the treatment tables, everything. So we are in the same boat where we're stuck in the past and we think that because that used to work, it will work now. We don't move
Yeah.
with the times.
You know, the thing that saves Real Madrid is Madrid is owned by the fans, I think. Majority of it. right?
Mm.
I'm
I
pretty
know
sure.
Barcelona is. I'm not sure if Real Madrid are.
I think
No,
Madrid is too. I think
don't
it's
know.
like owned.
They obviously have
Madrid.
elections and stuff like that, but I don't know
Yeah,
if
they
it's
have elections.
Oh yeah,
fan-owned or-
Socios. It is the same thing. It's the same format.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, it's owned
Just
by the
Googled
club.
it.
I think that's a difference between us and like Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. It's clear that the clubs that have fans controlling the club, they can't just do all these stupid things. While we're screwed essentially, unless somehow someone just takes United to court and says the Glazers have to pay off the debt. That's the only way we're gonna get rid of them.
that's
That they
never getting paid.
Yeah.
No.
Can I ask
Well,
everyone on this panel? I know this has nothing to do with it, but was everyone here for Qatari ownership then when that bid war was going on?
I
was.
Ryan doesn't want to answer.
So
Oh,
I'm going to
no.
give a politician's answer here. In that I would have preferred them over Ineos. But I will say, if I could take away all Arab blood money away from the sport, then I would do that in a heartbeat and have Ineos instead. But if that money was going somewhere, then I'd have. If it's going to be in football regards, I'd want it at my club.
You say you wanted British blood money as opposed
Well,
to
you
the
know what I
Arab
mean,
blood
though.
money.
So what I mean is
I know
the
what you
state
mean, I know
money,
what you mean.
the
I know what you
sports
mean.
washing, that kind of thing.
I don't like what Qatar's doing. We don't want to discuss anything that's going on in
Yeah,
Sudan.
no, I don't, I don't
Yeah, I
want
don't
to.
want to get
This
into
wasn't
detail on
about
that.
politics at all,
Yeah,
man. I was
yeah,
just trying to
yeah,
say,
yeah.
as an ownership group,
But no, that is my one caveat though, is that if I could take it all away, I would. But because it's in the game, I'd rather us have it than someone else. Like if I could switch our owners and Newcastle's, do it in a heartbeat.
Oh,
that's worse. But yeah,
Yeah.
But
That's-
Newcastle, are they really spending?
They're not
they
spending
can't.
because they
I don't think
can't.
they can though.
they can't.
Exactly.
At
They have
least
the
they're
money,
being
they just
legal
can't do
about
it.
it. Like at least they're
Yeah.
not breaking the rules about it. You got to give that up. Sean, who's coming at your neck? I'm seeing this on the chat.
I
Yeah.
thought it was that I thought you said keep that to yourself. I was like, I'm giving you valuable insight as to how the previous regime operates.
this?
Like something that and then they're like, keep that to yourself. I was like, well, fuck me. Let me put a fucking thumb up my. Oh, sorry.
Who are we talking about?
Oh wait, you
No,
said
it
it's
was
not
it
to
was
the
someone.
panel.
Yeah.
Unknown.
Yeah.
keep that
Because
to
then,
yourself.
because then
Oh,
somebody said
Unknown
it's not
said
to
get
the
Amarim
panel.
out.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what it
someone
is.
said
we didn't see
Amarim
that.
out, and then
Yeah.
someone was saying keep that to yourself.
No, no. I shouldn't have even elaborate on it because this poor guy wasn't even addressing anything we were saying. But
No.
that's a little color for you guys. Sometimes we really do read the comments.
Yeah. I look at the comments, even if I'm not
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm looking at it. That's why I was like, wait, what's going on?
yeah.
Politics aside, would they be better owners? Is the question. Chico
It would
asked.
be by a
100%.
mile. The amount of
Yeah.
investment they would have brought into
Can I
this
just
club.
say that, like,
If he
no
existed.
matter what, they would
does.
have kept trying with money, and that's
Yes.
why in the end it would have worked out. Like, I'm not saying they would have been better right away. Maybe they would have spent the money the wrong way in the early phases, but they would have figured it out because they'd have an endless supply
I
of
don't know
money.
if this is an
But
English
they
saying.
tried it with
it's-
PSG though. They own PSG.
Exactly,
They could-
and
yeah,
they
so they
probably
would have
learned a
done it.
lot from there.
Yeah.
And like I said, like there's nothing you can't beat a gambler at a blackjack table who just has more money to keep pulling out. He's gonna hit blackjack at some point.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an English saying, but they say if you throw
Yeah.
enough mud at a wall, then some of it
It
sticks.
sticks. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's that.
I use a different
mean,
term for
Look
mud.
at
but still.
City. Well, yeah, I actually did change that bit.
Thank you.
Nice for Samix's YouTube channel and not getting demonetized.
It's our it's the cursing quota. Like if you do for every 5 minutes and you have a tally, I'm definitely on the leaderboard. I'm number one.
I'm getting,
But yeah,
I
I
gotta
think
learn to
City
get
did
better
that
with
at the
that button.
start.
Like I'm
You
just
know
not
what?
good with the.
You gotta hook me up with that. I gotta
I gotta
self-censor.
have that button, and then I have one I've been waiting to use. I just always forget that I have
Drop
it.
it,
and
man.
Well,
let's hear it.
it's a sad
an
sound, right?
applause.
But like after someone makes a point that's kind of like, oh, this is a good point, and then someone else says, no, actually, you're wrong. And then I've been dying to use that one because that's like from my childhood cartoon days.
Okay. I got video left. That's good.
So do you guys really think because I think we're gonna get Mateta. Do you think we're getting Mateta then?
Dude, you know why
I
I
would-
think we're
I
gonna
don't
get
even think
Mateta?
so.
Because I don't want to get Mateta. So
man.
I don't want to
that's
get
why-
Mateta.
I would
No,
love
I
it.
don't want to get
We're getting
Mateta.
No. That's
He's
why we're gonna
such
get
an
him.
upgrade on Sheshko.
Like, get
He
your
is.
get
He
your
is.
you know.
I
if you're-
still
if-
don't want him.
if you're looking forward to buying a new kit with Mateta's name on it, get your money ready because it will
Hold on.
happen.
Nelson,
Yeah,
would Mateta be a late bloomer?
he would actually. But yeah, but the fact that both Savix and I are both saying we wouldn't take him is a sure
He didn't
sign.
bloom big enough.
Yeah, he's not big. If he dropped like, because he's a good player. He's a good player, but not like
No, it's not. It's not.
what?
No, I
Like-
don't like Mateta.
I will say he'll come in useful, but he's so not what we need right this sec. If there's one player we're getting, it's not a striker. I don't even care if that striker is the best striker in the world, whoever anybody thinks that is right now. I need the best midfielder in the world. Like, you know what I mean?
I think
like
a striker
that's-
could cover up the cracks. In the, I mean, like if Sheshko had scored one of his chances, we'd have won that last game. And I'm really going to upset Sean here, but
I
I
don't
just
see-
mean
Ryan,
a
how does a
striker wins you
striker stop us
games.
leaking goals? Just tell
well,
me
it
that.
doesn't.
How
It
does
doesn't.
how
No,
does
don't get me wrong. It doesn't. But what I mean is, it won't like win us a league, for example. But strikers can win you games that you don't deserve to. I mean,
But there's
any
such a
position
sm-
can. But
There's such a short amount of like decent strikers. Like, let's
yeah.
be
Yeah.
honest. Outside of Osimhen,
I think
there's no one else who's
like this is a conversation for
banging
another
in
day, but
goals.
I think the whole
Yeah.
quality of players has gone down a lot since my
100%.
childhood.
Yeah.
Since
especially
my
in-
child, and I
especially
think it's
strikers.
because players are less hungry. They're coming from like better upbringings and stuff like that, which it sucks to say, but it's also good to say. Like I don't know how to like put it, but I just think that even in poor neighborhoods in Brazil, let's say, the good players are starting to get treated highly at a younger age and given money at a younger age. Do you get what I'm saying? Like there's less hunger.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
less hunger in my eyes. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know the real cause.
I-
I'm just that's my opinion.
I will add to that in that I think that the physical floor of the league has risen so much that the really technical players from places like Brazil 20 years ago could come to the league and take them your
like
button,
dominate.
take the out of yeah, there you go, out of the players, and they wouldn't be able to catch them up. Whereas now they take the out of them, and the recovery runs just happen.
Well,
Uh,
But I would
reason
I would
why-
counter that
like-
though.
Like
Yeah.
because
Ronaldo, like
because
Ronaldo.
we're so these are all metas, right? We had a certain meta that became high possession, passing meta, control state, everything. Now we've gone back into the utilitarian, get the points no matter what, everything. You've seen players like Kevin. You see players like coming literally out of Brazil, technical demons that are
Yeah.
coming, and they're going to be creating those chances. We have
Ryan Cherky.
all these. Yeah, Cherky, unbelievable. A guy that I wouldn't bill as a physical specimen. He's somebody that is just one of the most technical players to ever play the game. He's that
Yeah.
good. He's
I think I
that
need to
good.
clarify
with
my
2
point.
feet.
My point is more that one player
Mm.
was able to like rinse an entire team, and
Yeah.
they'd just all be running behind them at like half a mile an hour. Like I used to watch Ronaldo skin a defender, literally wait 3 seconds for the guy to catch up, then skin him again. Like you can't do that in the league now. It's even Cherky. He is very like flary, and he's very technically gifted, but he's still effectively technically gifted. He's not doing things for the
Yeah,
sake
the game
of it.
the
He had
game
a
the game
Rabona
has
assist, bro.
as yeah, yeah,
But it was
the
an
game
effective
has
cross.
the game
It
has
was an effective
okay.
cross. That
Let's
is true.
say the game has matured into being way more direct. I do understand that. But I think we're going back into now because systems, tactics are so predictable. You need that individual brilliance to then break
Mhm.
those down, the low blocks, the really structured, hardworking teams, so that you can have a break in one of those, I guess, like control dominant or possession plays. And that's why I have something to look forward to, because I think now that's what we're dying for. We're dying for somebody to actually not like Cunha beat a man and then not release. Someone that's like has Cunha's ability to beat the man, but then also distribute at the right times. So
You
that's
mean like a Lamine Yamal?
well, I mean, Lamine has such a at 18 years old to
What a
have that
great
type
player.
of like, regardless of everything around him, that's
hate,
like
hate the attitude,
innate.
but I feel like it's not his fault. Like the parenting there is just lacking.
I mean, And that's
Um,
sad. That's actually sad because
yeah,
I
it's
think
not
that's
his
gonna
fault at
that's
all.
gonna that's gonna
Name,
cut
there's
a career
something? What
short.
happened? What happened
Yeah.
with him and his
but he's such a
the,
great,
fa- the
like, he's a
father-
talent.
no, the
man.
father. It's like the Javi Simons like father makes everything about the kid, social media, everything, to the point where the father is like the conduit to all the partying and him being with all this. Not saying that that didn't happen obviously in English times, but starting so young, so
Yeah.
early, just the whole. I
It's
don't
a bit
know.
of a LeVar Ball effect.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
And also, like his mum, for example, charges people to have pictures taken with her. And stuff like that.
$500 per
That's so
dinner.
atrocious.
I'm booked in April for that. I can't wait to meet Miss Your mom.
That's so terrible, guys. That's so terrible.
But to Sean's point, I do think like Fabregas to me is the new next big coach, and that's because of how he's utilizing technical players. And it's also kind of what Amram's doing too, which is you're seeing wingers being
Nelson,
played.
Hold
Huh?
on. We saw Thiago Motta. We saw what they said about Thiago Motta.
Fabregas to me is almost, and by the way, I don't rate a lot of young managers, but Fabregas is closer to like Inzaghi. Thiago Motta is closer to like Vias Bosch or something, where he had the
Tell us how you
initial,
really
like,
feel.
yeah.
God.
No, like to be honest with you, because when I say about Juventus, I'm like, what the hell is this? This isn't what you showed me at Bologna. But with Fabregas, you can clearly tell, like he has an understanding of. He has a player, Kakare. Someone had talked about him, Kakare. He is so good. Maxence walks into our team, makes our central midfield.
I know the one you mean. I
Yeah.
wanted him a few years ago.
He's ridiculous. Yeah, and he was good at Lyon, but
Is the guy
it
from
would have been
Lyon?
too early
Oh,
for
okay.
us to get him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would have been too early for us to get him.
Profile-wise, I wanted him essentially.
Yes,
but yeah,
100%.
I will give one devil's advocate point with Fabregas at Como, and that is that I think he is in the league that lets you display your tactical prowess the most.
Exactly.
Um,
Same as Thiago Motta.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I
So,
don't
for me,
necessarily think
he would have to actually show his prowess at a bigger club, right? So
not even bigger,
Well,
just
Como is a big
different
club
league.
now because of the money.
yeah. I mean,
but at the same time, they're
have you seen
seventh.
that place? Have you seen Como? Like, it
Yeah.
really can't be hard to get a load of
it's the
millionaires
Serie
to
A.
move to
It's the Serie A,
Como.
Nelson. It's the Serie A where Scott McTominay is flourishing.
So wait. So you don't rate Scott McTominay at
Not
Napoli?
at
Oh,
all as a player.
Wow.
Not at Napoli. Not at all. I don't rate him as a player.
Sean knows my opinion on Scott McTominay from
Listen,
a screenshot
I
I
miss
shared.
Fred. I miss McTominay and I miss Fred. That's how serious
Really?
I am right now. I'm not even joking. I actually
Then
So
I'm-
make
Mix,
that
let's
combination.
let's
I am
wrap
missing-
this up, man. This
I
is
am-
just-
I am missing-
This is
I
starting
am
to get
missing-
to.
I-
I
this
was
is
thinking the
starting.
same
I'm
thing.
like, bro.
I'm
Are
like,
you
if we're
guys
gonna start
serious?
talking about McFred
Yeah.
like they were,
Yeah.
like they
Nelson.
were, you know, look, I guarantee you, if I rewound time, there's probably days where Nelson has said out loud, "I wish McFred would go away."
Oh no! Here's Civics. I agree with you. I did say that at the time. I was thinking we were gonna go get De Jong. I thought we were gonna go get like
you got
really
Casemiro.
good players. Yeah, but we got Casemiro. What? As good as Casemiro is, let's be honest, we've dropped so much because of the Casemiro buy. Are we, or are you guys all Casemiro fans when he joined?
It's not
'Cause
that
I
I'm not
wasn't.
a. It's not that I'm not a Casemiro fan. I'm just. I don't know, man. This could just be fatigue.
You are tired.
Like, I'm-
You're
Yeah,
tired.
it could be
I'm
fatigue.
tired. This could be
You're
fatigue.
tired, so.
Hey, you know what? God bless you guys. It's good to have some place that I'm really pushed to think about my ideals, go back in time, analyze. But damn, I need some rest. And I don't know about you guys. Semix, what do you think?
No, we're gonna wrap this
Yeah,
up. I
it's-
just want to
it's
say
too-
that thanks to you guys, you made me believer in Ruben Neves. now I'm sitting here going like, hopefully, maybe we will get Ruben Neves. And I had much higher standards 2 hours ago. Thank you very much for dropping my standards. I will see you guys soon, probably tomorrow. So stay tuned. If you haven't followed me on X yet, guys, follow me on X and make sure your notifications are on in YouTube. I want to thank Sean for turning on the camera I know you were just chilling and we made you come on. Nelson,
Listen,
thank you so
anything-
much
anything
for
for you
joining me,
guys.
man. Nelson, I love it every time. Every time you can, please join. Vinny, nice to finally have you on my channel. I've seen you on Footies. I don't think you've ever been on mine. And Ryan, nice to meet you, man. And I really love hearing the English accent on my stream so that it gives me some credibility outside of the States. So please join me again next time I'm on.